afternoon, everyone. Guess what time it is? Absolutely. Absolutely, it is riot time. And hey, what a fantastic Saturday. And welcome to George Martin Memorial Field for the Western Maine Final. And as the paper's already indicated, and we all believed anyways, hey, everybody do this. Take a deep breath with me. Okay, get a little relaxed. As the paper's already indicated, the Western Maine Final, again, for the 5th year in a row, goes through South Portland. We got us a fantastic ball game coming up, right? Hey, you all watching at home, of course you recognize these folks. These are the parents of some of the seniors on the team. And we just wanted to say hi to the seniors especially. And we know this is your last home game. It's not your last game. It's your last home game. And we just wanted to say, hey, to the seniors, thank you very much. And congratulations to a fantastic senior year. But not only that, but probably for being pretty good boys throughout the years. Wouldn't you agree? You know, that have probably worked hard and maybe given a few challenges to Mom and Dad over the years. But you know what? We're here today to honor you, and it's been a great season, and we believe it's going to be a great finish to the Western Maine schedule before we go to Orono. So I just want to say it's going to be a great game. We're pretty excited. Hey, 365 days have passed since we saw these guys last. It's going to be a fantastic football game with Sanford. And I got to tell you what, folks, you know, we heard this week that I think Lee Goldberg is what his name is, said that Matt DeBias, excuse me, he didn't say Matt DeBias. He said that Bougie was by clear the best running back in the state. And I got to tell you something, Lee. I got to tell you something. If you're watching at home, if you're watching at home, I got to tell you what. I've already called I have a vision plan, and I've got a free appointment for you to go have your eyes checked, because I tell you what, by far Matt DeBias is the best running back in the state, and he's led by. No, I must be standing next to his mom. Number 1 in touchdowns in the state. But we've got a great core of seniors. We got a great core of seniors this year. You know what? I want to say hi to their moms and dads and have them say hi. And for those that are watching at home, your name is, and who's your son?
Jan McVeigh, and my son is Mikey.
Ernie McVeigh, Michael.
Sandy Thompson, Art Dickey, number 62.
Art Dickey.
Rena Voisin and Bo Voisin, number 55.
Chris Waterhouse, number 26. My son is also Chris Waterhouse. Go Riots!
Arthur Dickey, my son's also Arthur Dickey, number 62.
Makes sense, Arthur Dickey.
Gordy Holmes, and my stepson is Matty DeBias.
Kathy Holmes, my son's Matt DeBias, 34.
Charlie Heslop, my son's number 7. Joe Heslop.
Sharon French, and my son's name is Eric French, and number 61.
Right, number 61, Eric French, John French.
We don't want anyone else.
No, sir.
Yes, Kathy Jones, my son's number 53, Maddie. Go!
Greg Jones, Matthew Austin Jones.
Greg's also been a voice of the riot.
And Jackie LeConte, my son's Mike LeConte, Big Mike. Go!
Woo, Big Mike LeConte. Hey, folks, those are the seniors, and they've led the way all year. And I'll tell you what, they need to lead the way again today because, like I said, we're in for a big, tough football game, and we expect nothing but the best. The Western Maine Class A Final coming live today here at South Portland High School. We're going to Orono.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the South Portland Red Riot football. We have got a good one going today. 9-1 Sanford comes in here to meet our 9-1 Red Riots in a rematch of last year's state Western Maine Class A championship. And we're going to have a good one. Went in overtime last year. I expect nothing less than a good game this week.
365 days have passed, you know, and we're back at it again. And I love the custom and the tradition that we've established here, and that's having the Western Maine Final here, Mike.
Yes.
And it's going to be an incredible football game, just like you said. Sanford, very tough, obviously, very, very worthy defending state champion. Played a tough ball game last year, and it was a heartbreaker for us. Actually, both teams went away winners. And now we get to have the rematch here again today. And I tell you what, I mean, I could talk all day, and I know that you could. In fact, we'll get an opportunity to. But, you know, I think it's going to come down to coaching. You know, I think that, you know, the defense obviously needs to step up. But I think what's going to happen, we'll talk about the defense in just a second, but I think it's going to come down to coaching, Mike. That's my gut, and I've been thinking about it all week. I don't think you want to give John Wolfgram too much opportunity to study an opponent. You know, and last year, obviously, we did the best we could, but now he knows because they got all their skilled players back. They got all of them back. They got a new line up front, some returning starters, but for the skilled positions, they're all back. So we stop Bougie, I think we can stop the Sanford Redskins. But, you know, just like Noble, you know, when Noble beat us here, and then the next 2 times we went back and played them, wasn't pretty for them, you know. So you give John, I mean, you agree with that?
I do very much. John prepares a team probably as well as any coach we've seen, and he's got the experience back at him. He's got a great coaching staff. And Sanford, again, They're the new kings that have come along here last year and now this year as they're back on top again, or right up there with the top teams again. But Sanford's just new at this. South Poland's been doing this. This is 5 straight years right here at South Poland we played the Western Class A Final, and 6 years straight that South Poland has been in the Western Maine Class A Final.
And I'm sure that towns and schools are kind of getting perturbed with that, you know, to have to come here.
Much.
And, you know, looking around, there's different schools here from both sides, east and west of Maine, down to watch this football game because it's a great one. And I think the key to us winning the ball game today, apart from the coaching, is defensively. I think we need to have Mike LeConte step up in a big way. I mean, the defensive ends, Joe Heslip and Ryan Maine, they've done a fantastic job. Rusty Rutherford's been huge, and Mike LeConte has as well. And but I think we need those two guys. I think you're going to see a lot of blitzing and a lot of stunts today because we need to make we need to come up with tremendous pressure on the quarterback. And we need to have penetration to stop Bougie. So I think the key is going to be, defensively anyway, is going to be Mike LeConte and Rusty Rutherford.
I think I'd agree with that. Defensively, we have just taken so many hits on injuries, Mooch, and that's really has depleted what many people think our ability to be probably the dominant force on defense in this league. But we've had some guys that have stepped up. But Mike LeConte, he hasn't been real quiet, folks. He played a great game last week, but he hasn't had the type of game we know he can. He hasn't been that dominant player. Today's got to be probably one of his biggest games of the year.
I think he's going to show up for us to win this ball game. We need the A game to show up defensively. And the defensive backs, I mean, they hurt us bad last year with a deep pass, and that's really what won the ball game for them and actually allowed us to go in overtime. But we're going to have to stay back as defensively and not get beat deep. Then when we go to offense, I mean, we're chugging. I mean, everyone's playing well. I mean, the offensive line's done a great job. Frank Vickerson's back to start this week, so we'll move Matty Jones back to the guard. But you know, Matt DeBias, I mean, is just running with such passion right now. He's taken his tailback position to a whole new level in the past 3-4 weeks. The offensive line done a great job up front. So I'm looking for Matt to run with vengeance again today, and look for the guard trap. We need for that to happen today. And then what can we say about Orlando? You know, I mean, he's just really stepped up. He's throwing the ball with such confidence. Davini's catching the ball. I like our chances offensively. We're going to score some points. It could be one of those, you know, who has the ball last kind of thing, but I'm predicting the Riots win by 8 here.
Mooch, and I'm with you on that. I actually said I thought they'd win by 2 touchdowns today. I just think they're going to be fired up. In my mind, too, Matt Orlando today is the key. I think everything else is running the way it needs to be. Frank Vickerson being back is a big plus. We thought we lost him for this game last week when he went down with a shoulder injury. But Frank is back. That's going to make a big difference for the offensive line. We're playing against another team that's just bigger than we are, and we've done it many, many times. I think we need to get out fast, and Matt Orlando and being accurate with his passing is going to be that key.
I agree with you. You're absolutely right in that we need to get off to a good start. We can't afford to fall behind by 12, 14 points this time, not to this team, not to the defending state champ. They got a lot to prove.
Sure.
They would love nothing better but to win 2 in a row at our home, at our house, you know.
Gosh.
So we're going to have to get off the ground offensively. I saw the skilled players practice a little bit yesterday, throwing the ball around. They're looking pretty good, looking pretty loose. Matt DeBias is feeling good. Matt Orlando, Cowboy, he's ready to go. So it's going to be a great ball game.
We're looking forward to it. We'll see you upstairs. I want to thank the senior parents for coming out here today and having an interview prior to this one. But this is going to be a great game, folks, so we'll see you upstairs.
See you in Orono.
In Orono.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Guess what time it is? That's right, it's riot time. It is Saturday afternoon. The sun is shining, and here we are once again hosting, Mike, another Class A Western Maine football championship. And the winner advancing to Orono. Fantastic crowd on hand. I mean, I'm talking probably 6,000 to 7,000 people. The sun is shining, and we got 2 great football teams here. Both teams 9-1. Of course, Sanford being the defending Western Maine and state champion, playing at the South Poland Red Riots for 2 years in a row, Mike. Hard to believe 365 days has come and gone, and we're back to 0-0.
It doesn't seem like yesterday, Mooch, because it was a whole year ago, but I recall vividly these 2 teams battling it out, and I mean, it was a battle as it got down to 29-29 in regulation. They went in the overtime play, which I dislike the format they use, but such as it is. South Poland was stopped on 3 plays, kicked a field goal, went ahead. Sanford then got their turn at the ball. First play from scrimmage, Kevin Bougie goes in. They win the game 35-32. South Poland, real heartbreaker for them. They'd played tough. Sanford at that time was also probably one of the biggest teams in the league. South Poland not one of the biggest teams in the league. And it seemed like they just kind of got worn out, but they played with heart the whole time, and Sanford knew they were in a battle when they won the game.
They certainly did, and it was a good ball game, and we expect the same thing today. I mean, both teams having, phenomenal seasons. Both teams with identical 9-1 records. South Portland coming in at number 2 and Sanford at number 4. And, been some good ball games over the past couple weeks, Mike, in Western Maine. Of course, Sanford winning a thriller last week down in Massabesic on the road, winning 15-13. And, of course, the Riots coming from behind 2 weeks in a row, once again, defeating another rival and strong opponent, Biddeford, in the Biddeford Tiger, and moving on to face Sanford. And, Mike, we're looking at two teams that have a tremendous amount of respect for each other, as well as two towns, if you will. And, of course, South Portland's been in this position many, many years, 5 in a row here the last 6. And are certainly accustomed to winning championships. Sanford's, it's been a few years since they've had a caliber football team that they've had past 2 years, and certainly they love nothing more to come in here, defend their title, and move on.
I know I got a kind of a kick out of the article in the paper today, Matty Jones saying he loves to be practicing in November because that means they're the only ones left.
Absolutely.
And they're out here, even field hockey's over with, soccer's over with, everything's done. South Portland are out here all by themselves on the field playing. It gets dark before they get out of practice.
I know it. That's exciting. It's there's only how many classes? There 3 classes, maybe 4. I don't know, 3 for sure. A, B, and C, both East and Western Maine going on today. A few football games, and nothing of more significance anyway as far as we're concerned. But being right here in South Portland to witness again what we believe to be a fantastic Class A football game. And I can't help but hear I don't really tune into the radio guys, but we got some radio guys with us, and they did make one statement, which I totally agree with, and they said South Portland football has been the team of the 90s. And that certainly has been, winning 3 state championships already this year, in the 90s, and hosting or being a part of 6 Western Maine championships. And that's just a tremendous kudos goes to the football tradition here at South Portland High School, and obviously to the coaching staff.
You got to remember that not only, like you said, Mooch, out of the 90s, 7 out of the 9 years, they have been one of the Western Maine Class A competitors. And again, of winning, of course, 3 of them and going on to win the state championship. Another note, the team that wins this game here today probably is your state champion. So far, the Eastern teams have not been able to compete in the state championship the last several years. Maybe it's their style of play, I don't know. They obviously used to dominate years ago. They always seem to have the bigger, stronger teams. But because the play has gotten so wide open, it seems like the Western teams really have to adapt more to each other, to the whole gambit of offensive type playing. And that's why you see them go up there, and usually it's not even a pretty game.
That's true. Sanford last year, of course, they played their hearts out here, in South Portland, the Western Maine, to win the Western Maine final. And then there was just a little bit of an emotional letdown in the state championship game. I think the state championship game against the Gardner Tigers were a little bit closer than this game here. The emotions just weren't there. I think if Sanford had the ability to play at the same level and same emotion in that state ball game, it wouldn't even have been, I'm talking, Western Maine Sanford plays Gardner last year 10 times. They win probably 10 of them, and probably 8 of them by 30 points. I mean, there is a difference there, and I think that what has to do with one of the issues there is that Western Maine football is so wide open. They got some great athletes down here, and there's just wide open offensively, and I think that's the difference. I mean, I grew up in Gardner, and of course played up there in that league, and we're more of a straight ahead, grind up. We may throw the ball once every game or once every other game, but it's certainly different down here, and I think that's why you see the difference. So.
Well, it makes games predictable, that's all, and I think down here you don't see predictability, and that's also now why you're seeing such parity in these teams. I mean, Sanford, South Portland, we had Biddeford, Massabesic, they all had one loss all year long, and they had beat each other to give each other that one loss.
It's true.
And that's just tremendous parity.
That's tremendous, and we're going to see, the results of that again today. This is going to be a good football game. I mean, last week, Sanford's only loss coming against Biddeford by a point, and then, of course, we beat Biddeford last week by a point. So anything can happen on any given day, and we're in for a great ball game. I think the key is we talk about the Red Riots. What they need to do, I think, to win this ball game is I think their defense is going to play the game of their life, or lives, I should say. I think we can score points, we can move the ball. We'll talk about the offense in a few minutes, but defensively, everyone needs to do a great job up front. Ryan Maine, Bo Vozine's had a fantastic postseason. Of course, Pat Lyons in the middle, Art Dickey on the right guard, and Joe Hessel. They need to put some pressure on the quarterback and get off quick on the ball and stay low, because obviously the offensive line of Sanford is very big. Rusty Rutherford, Mike LeConte, they need to have the games of their lives. Rusty's played fantastic all year. Mike's had a phenomenal year as well, both offensive and defensively. But he has to bring his, I'm talking A-plus defensive game from that linebacker position today. And I think, Mike, in the secondary defensively, last year in the championship game, we got hurt by 2 long touchdown passes from this Sanford team. And then last week we got beat a couple times deep, and we can't afford to give that up today.
That's for sure. We've got to stay into this game right from the minute the game starts on. And we haven't fallen behind many games during the season, but in the playoffs, I think we come in almost just a little bit light-handed, thinking that we were at least equal to them, and they come out probably a little more emotional than we did, and we went into deficits real early.
I know, we can't afford to do that today against Sanford, and we'll enjoy the national anthem, and we'll come back and talk about the offense.
Would you all now please rise for the playing of the national anthem by the South Portland High School Band.
On their feet, excited about the Western Maine final. We're seconds away, Mike, and it's going to be a great one. Offensively, we've had a fantastic postseason. We've been able to move the ball effectively, put some points on the game, and what do you think about the offensive line up front?
Actually, Frank Vickerson got knocked out of that game probably about early in the second half last week with a shoulder injury. It turns out it's something that I guess he'll have to live with. It won't be worsened by his playing today. Could cause him some discomfort, but it's good to see Frank back in the lineup today. Other than that, they're going to be big out here, and again, I think Matt Orlando's the key today. If he's on target with his passing, then South Portland will open up the running lanes, and Matt Tobias, and you touched on earlier, he's been running like a man possessed, and all they got to do is give him just about a fraction of an inch, and he'll make some yardage for you.
The offensive line has just done a great job up front. Deviney and Matt Jones, and of course Mike LeCont's done a great job. Vickerson in the middle, Art Dickey along with Nick Sobey, and of course Waterhouse and Maine on the right end have just done a great job enabling us to, have an effective running game. And they've given Matt Orlando tremendous pressure in the pass. We've said all along, Mike, even in the beginning of the year and then mid-season, that in order for the Riots to be effective in the postseason and have an opportunity to get back to the state final, their passing game is going to have to click. And I tell you what, it certainly has done that in a big, big way.
Well, we know that it's always been Coach Wolfram's focus for running game, but the passing game has to complement it, that's all.
We're almost underway as the Riots are getting ready to return. From your left side, we've got Matt Tobias back in the middle along with Brandon McCross and Rusty Rutherford kicking off for Sanford. And here we go, and we're underway, and it's a line drive kick. It's going to be taken by Rusty Rutherford. He's fumbled it, picks it back up, looks up the middle. He's got one block, a huge block there, thrown by number 62, Art Dickey, made a huge block, and Rusty Rutherford gits out to about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, they kind of kicked a knuckleball down there, and it was a little tough to handle. Rusty finally gathers it up, but not until he had to chase it for about a few seconds. Nice run back, though, just the same.
Yeah, I don't look for them really to kick it deep too much when they do have the opportunity to kick anyways, because Matt Tobias, of course, has been certainly very, very dangerous running back kickoff returns, and I'm sure they took note of that. We're underway here, just underway in the Western Maine final. Red Riots starting 1st and 10 from the almost the 25-yard line. Orlando the quarterback, I formation. No, he's rolling the pass already. He's looking. There's the passes out there. looking for Brandon McCrossin. We've got a penalty already.
Yeah, that was a nice idea by Orlando. He got out there. He felt the pressure coming on. Nobody was really open as McCrossin was well covered that time. He just kind of threw the ball in the dirt, and we pick up a penalty on the play.
You know, that was good heads up, too, Mike, by Matt Orlando. If he's not open, you can't really get to him. You either got to throw it so he can't catch it or throw it so he's the only one that can catch it. It did go in bounds, in the ground, and Riot's going to have first and 10 here, going to pick it up on a 15-yard penalty.
Wow, personal foul. Well, you know, you and I talked earlier before we went on the air about mistakes, and we couldn't really remember last year what kind of mistakes had played a real part of the game, if they did or not. This is actually a big one right off the bat for Sanford. They don't want to make too many of these, and of course South Poland doesn't want to make them either.
Riot's first and 10 off a 15-yard penalty, wing T formation. Deviney split right. Here's a handoff to Rutherford up the middle. He's got a pretty good hole, looked to be, but closed up rather quickly.
Yeah, he's going to pick up about a yard, but you're right. He got slammed down pretty fast.
Again, the passing game has enabled us to open up the running game in a very effective way, and I like Coach's idea by throwing the ball immediately, Mike.
Yeah, you know, for years, John always ran the same play on the first play of the game. I mean, just always did. And here they step right out here today and says, by the way, the pass will be used today.
I'll tell you what, and that gives Matt Orlando tremendous confidence for the coach to be able to say, you know what, Matt, I trust you so much, we're going to throw the ball first time. Second and 8, Riot. Here's the pitch to Tobias. His first time covering the ball. He cuts back into the middle, holds onto the ball, and he's going to pick up about 6 yards.
Yeah, that was a nice run again. Sanford with some good coverage, but excellent blocking again by the South Poland Red Riots.
Great blocking on that right side. And, you know, I talked to Kathy Holmes, Matt's mom, in the beginning. You know, we talked about him, you know, doing some things in the offseason, Mike, to learn how to cut back and forth and just some extra homework, even off-season. And Matt just cuts so well back against the grain, and that certainly has helped his game this year.
Well, you're absolutely right. He's a matured running back this year.
Riots, here we go. 3rd and 3, I formation. McLeod in motion. Hand off to Bias again off the left side. He's got the running room as he cuts to the outside, still on his feet, and he picks up the first down.
Nice establishment here as Coach Wolfgram's got his team threatened with the pass on the very first play. 3 straight running plays, and they pick up a first down.
Again, great leg drive up front offensively by that Red Riot offense. Great job on the right side of the line as the Riots pick up another first down. 1st and 10 at the Sanford 45-yard line.
Well, you know, our offensive line, I think, has struggled a little bit the last 3 weeks. Today looks like they're coming out with a lot of fire right off the bat.
1st and 10, Riots. Rutherford, fullback, up the left side, nothing.
Yeah, that quick trap just isn't really getting anything here. Sanford, big team, plugging up the middle.
It'll come. Just underway, guys and gals. Just under 10 minutes in the first quarter of the Western Maine Class A final. Fantastic football day. Sun is shining, great temperature, field's in great shape. Got 2 Titans, Mike, battling it out here, 2 9-1 teams.
Like I said, more people will watch this game than they will Holyfield Lewis tonight. You watch.
Red Riots, 2nd and 9, T formation. Rutherford again up the middle, spins off, goes forward.
Rusty Rutherford powers for about 6 yards, and that was great running and some good blocking up front.
Tell you what, you know, Rusty's 5'10", 174 pounds. He plays like he's 6'5", 280.
Doesn't he, though?
You know, he just runs with all heart, man.
He is a load.
3rd and 4, Riots with the ball on the move. Actually, almost 5. That's a long 4.
Yeah, you're talking, that's right. It isn't 5 yards, but it's a long 4 is right.
Definitely in what I would call 2-down territory here, Mike. 9 minutes. 3rd down. Cowboy, McCrossin in motion. Orlando's rolling to his left.
Nice call here.
He's going to hold it, and he's going to lose ground, Matt. Yeah. Wise not to try to throw it away there.
He didn't have anybody. He got himself back to the line of scrimmage. I think he could have made his decision to run a hair earlier. That's about it. But nice decision-making not to throw that ball in the coverage.
Riots are going to punt, which I think is a great idea here. I was thinking, first of all, 4th and, you know, go for it kind of thing. But wise decision here to field position is always a key. And let's try to pin Sanford back best we can. And we got Bougie back for Sanford on the right. See, as the junior's done a good job punting. He punts from the 50, and it's a good high kick.
This is a great punt. It's it back to about, what, the 13-yard line?
13-yard line. And we're going to take a look at Sanford's offense for the first time here as they got the ball right about their 14-yard line.
Well, expect Grondin, Bougie. I mean, these are the guys that were here last year. They've been to a state championship. So they've got a lot of experience. They've had some good new players that have stepped up, as you saw in the article in the paper today.
Okay, Rue comes to splits to the near side. Power I formation, Sanford. Ball is given to Bougie off the left side, and he's going to be tackled by LeConte along with Ryan McLeod.
Yeah, Ryan McLeod's the one that got his hands around his legs, and Mike LeConte was right there to put a shoulder and make sure he didn't get anything extra.
Asking a lot here from the Red Riot defense to shut down the high-powered Sanford offense. Sanford, 2nd and 8. Again, power I right formation. He has the counter to the big fullback, and he's tackled. Oh, that's a great hit.
I'll tell you what, Brandon McCrossin stepped into that fray.
Brandon McCrossin in on a great tackle there, right at the line of scrimmage. You know, in order for the Riots, Mike, to be effective here defensively, I think you're going to see a lot of stunts and a lot of blitzing. They got to shut down that counter.
Yeah, we're going to be we're a pretty aggressive offense. I think we're going to be more aggressive today than we have been.
Again, Riot's defense looking very good here in the first couple of plays. Now's the key, is stopping him on 3rd down. And Grondin's going to drop back to pass, and he's immediately going to go for a fullback in the flat, and he's not there. It's great defense by Ryan McLeod along with Rusty Rutherford.
Yeah, that ball would have had to been thrown perfect to get by, as McLeod had very good coverage that time on the receiver.
Rue, the big tight end, Brian Rue, he was streaking down the sideline, and the Cowboy McCrossin was with him step for step. I like the looks of that.
You're actually, I think the danger is for McCrossin is to get beat and the ball goes over your head. You've got to kind of stay almost a half a step ahead of your man once he starts breaking downfield.
Matt Tobias along with Brandon McCrossin deep. And here's the kick by Sanford. It's a line drive
Look at
kick.
that thing sail.
Taken by Brandon McCrossin. He's got a wall here if he can just get behind it. Stay to the outside, and he's still on his feet. There's a great block.
Whoa!
A great block right there by Matt Jones. No, that was Bo Vozine.
Bo Vozine. And I'll tell you, Matt Tobias made a pretty nice block himself.
Excellent
to break
blocking.
McCrossin free.
Excellent blocking. Stay on your feet there, Cowboy, because you can get hurt up there. But
yeah, he got the legs tipped out from under him once he went airborne.
Great job to get to that right side. And the Riots here in the first quarter with 6:53 left with excellent field position at the 28-yard line of Sanford.
Very important, I think, the Riots score some points here, Mitch. Be the first time in 3 games we've been in one.
Watch for the counter. No, handoff to Rutherford off the left side. He's got some running room. He's going to pick up about 3 yards.
I'll tell you what, our offensive front line, I don't care how big Sanford is, they are doing their job out there right now.
Well, see, that's the thing, Mike. We got great athletes, and not to take anything away from Sanford by any means. They're a good football team, and they are very big. But we just got some exceptional athletes that are quick off the ball, and the offensive line and defensive line, Mike, certainly doing a job immediately.
That's right, and they really have struggled the last couple of weeks to get going early, and today looks like they're ready to go now.
2nd and 6. Maine goes in motion. Now he's set on the left side. Tobias off the left side. Nice block out there. He's got some room. Great move.
That was closed up pretty quick by Sanford that time. That's a good one-on-one tackle by, what was it, number 32 for Sanford.
Yeah, Matt Rogers, but after Matt dragged him for about 8 yards, or excuse me, 5 yards.
Yeah.
Third and inches here.
And we are in 4-down territory now.
Oh, no doubt.
No doubt.
The Riots are going to smell it immediately, and I'll tell you what, Sanford's going to have to dig deep to stop them. I think the Riots are playing with some vengeance and with some passion. They want to get back for an opportunity at that gold ball. Big Mike LeConte on the left side. Power I right. Now left. Tobias, the handoff. He's going to get the first down. Again, moving forward.
Going to take it right up to about the 10-yard line as Matt Tobias easily behind some, again, excellent blocking. Gets the first down.
1st and 10, Red Riots. Ball at the 16-yard line.
You notice that too, Mooch. I don't think we're going to see a pass here unless we get down maybe 3rd down and long or something.
I agree. I think they're going to.
The coach wants to run that clock out.
Absolutely. Plus, you know, we're moving the ball up front. We got some momentum offensively. The guys are blocking as we got twins rights. I think we're going to keep the ball on the ground. Mike LeConte on the right side. Orlando, the quarterback. Here's the pitch to Tobias. He's going to go to the outside. Still on the outside. Still on his feet. Gets to about the 12-yard line. Maybe picked up a yard.
Yeah, the line of scrimmage wasn't on the 10. It was on the 16, and
Okay,
you're right. He just barely got looks like he got about 3 yards out of that.
Strung it out.
Well, he had to run laterally. That was good defense by Sanford.
It was good defense, unfortunately.
They're going to get about a foot, actually.
Second down. Frank Vickerson, good to see him back as he brings them up. We've got Twins left. High formation, 4:59 left in the quarter. Handoff straight up the middle. Nowhere this time as Matt's still on his feet.
Well, he's not easy to bring down, but watch the feet slipping. We didn't talk about the field conditions. It poured last night, Mooch, and the ground out there is wet, and the conditions are not really good. And Matt just slipped us that time, and he wasn't able to hit the hole.
3rd and 9. Sanford defense playing very tough now, just like we expect them to be. It's in the red zone. Everyone's digging in here.
Now we might see the coach try to use the pass play to just pick up a big piece of yardage and open things up on the run.
Deviney goes to the left side. McCrossen's to the right. The lone back is Rutherford. 3rd and 9. Matt's back. There's the pass over the middle, almost picked off by Rue. Looking for Deviney the whole way.
That play was the right play. Deviney was open, but Matt threw the ball high.
Threw it high and hard. There's some adrenaline flow in there.
Yep. He needed to kind of snap that down with his hand just a little bit, and he would have had it right in Vinny's chest. He was on target as far as the line of the ball, but he threw it too high.
I think Coach Wolfgram's going to call timeout here and think this one over.
I don't know. He might kick a field goal just to get points, but I still think he's going to go for it.
Just, not just underway. I mean, almost through the first quarter here, and it's been all Red Riots offense. Sanford only touching the ball for 3 plays, and then punting. The Riots moving the ball well. Sanford's playing tough in the red zone. We expect them to be, but I think it's a good call here by Coach Wolfgram to call timeout, think this one through, Mike.
You know, and he hasn't really gone out to talk to his team, and he's talking to his quarterback, and probably the guys upstairs are getting a little input from them. But he wants to see, what do you feel comfortable with, Matt?
Interesting call here.
I know. This
Fourth and 9. It's almost like you can hear a pin drop here in the stadium, you know. Packed
almost
house.
here in the booth, huh?
Packed house.
Well, one of the interesting things is that you go for 3 points here, fine. And if you don't get it, you don't get points on the board. If you go for it, 4th down, and you don't get it, what happens here is if South Poland doesn't score points or get a 1st down, this is a big boost for the Redskins who've been on their heels.
Yeah, Coach Wolfgram is thinking touchdown all the way. And
yeah, of course he is.
Or 1st down anyways. 1st down anyways. And, I'd look for Rutherford in the flat over here on the right side. I think that'd be about as good a call as you can get.
Yeah, I definitely think I like Deviney as a control receiver, but you're going to see McCrossan out there.
McCrossan's going in motion. Orlando's going to roll to his left. That's tipped. Ball is tipped, and Sanford's going to take over on downs.
All right, he went for Deviney, and again, Deviney, a good control receiver, but Deviney was well covered with the Redskin in front of him and behind him.
Okay, again, Sanford dodging a bullet here as the Riots offense runs out of gas as Sanford stiffens up. The good news is we got him in the hole at the 15-yard line, and here's an opportunity, Mike, again for the defense to play tough and get the ball back again with excellent field position.
That's right. South Poland's offense is moving the ball well, but we are playing against a very good defense. We can't expect everything to go our way.
4:09 left here in the first quarter. No score. Here's a handoff to Bougie on that counter as he leaps over, still on his feet.
Yeah, you'll see him. Pat Lyons comes up to help finish it off, but that looks like
Ryan McLeod in on the tackle. Yep. That was that counter there, Mike, where he takes one step to the right, waits for the fullback to cross in front of him, and then he gets the ball. It's almost like a crossbuck, we used to call it. And 2nd and 1 as he leaps over a tackler.
Hey, Bougie's got over 1,300 yards this season. Matt Tobias over 1,400 yards. These are 2 good running backs we have here today.
Sanford to the big fullback, number 8. He's going to pick up the 1st down at about the 28-yard line, close to the 30-yard line, I should say, of Sanford.
Yeah, Rusty Rutherford in on the tackle.
Are squared in on the tackle.
Again, this is just, 2 powerhouses battling it out, beating up on each other, testing the waters to see what's going to work, what isn't going to work. Both using their favorite part of the game. The running attack is both these teams' favorite part of the game.
This is exactly what everyone paid to see. Here's a fullback. The quarterback's going to keep it himself and maybe pick up 2 yards. Grondin
Rusty Rutherford and Ryan McLeod in on the tackle again.
calls his own number.
Bo Vozine right there helping out. Again, we're looking for steps up. Rusty Rutherford's been just fired up. Mike LeCon has already been in a couple of tackles here today. We need those guys. They're going to have to really step up big, but the defensive line are going against some big boys out there. They got to really make it happen.
2nd and 7. Clock is running. Here's a handoff to Bougie off the right side.
South Poland stretching it out.
And he's going to be tackled right at the 45-yard line.
That was a great tackle by Ryan McLeod, who was just making a name for himself here today, huh?
It looked like he had plenty of running room out there, and Bougie's got some wheels, but great job by Ryan McLeod and Joe Heslip over there on that left side.
Well, they forced a third and about 4 or 5, and that means that they're going to have to probably look to the pass. South Poland's got to make sure they cover the receivers well, just in case.
3rd and 4. As Rue comes to the left side, Matt Orlando is on him. The pitch going to Bougie. He breaks one tackle, but he's nailed.
Ryan McLeod broke in. He made that play.
Ryan McLeod, Mike LeConte, Matt Orlando. Bougie goes down. That's excellent defense, Mike.
Ryan McLeod really broke that up. He never gave Bougie a chance to really get himself turned upfield. And he didn't make the tackle, but he did slow it down so that the rest of the team could get over and put him down.
Great rescue by the Riots defense as everyone just had a meeting and said, I'll meet you at Bougie, and they certainly did that. As Sanford's ready to punt, their second punt of the day. Minute 30 left, Grondin back to punt. DeBias and McCross and the Cowboy back deep. Ooh, Pat Lyon, that's a good kick, and that's going to go over DeBias' head. It's going to go out of bounds.
Good play by Matt DeBias. Just let it go out. It's on the 27-yard line. He didn't want to make any mistakes.
26-yard line. Red Riots to take the ball for the 3rd time here in the first quarter. No score.
I'll tell you, Pat Lyons probably could have blocked that ball, but the officials didn't see there was a holding in there on the line, as I saw somebody had a hold of his shirt as he was trying to break away.
South Poland defense certainly asserting themselves early here, Mike, and done a great job and have not really enabled Sanford to get on track offensively. Deviney goes to the left. We've got T formation. Here's a handoff to DeBias off the left side.
Some nice blocks on there.
He breaks free, still on his feet, running hard. Matt DeBias going to get out to about the 35-yard line.
I'll tell you what, we had some nice blocks out there, but Matt had to beat 1 or 2 players that kind of broke in between the blocks, and he did that by 8 yards.
Matt did a great job just giving a little bit of a juke and jive and breaking loose to pick up about 9 yards. I'll tell you what, they said on the news the other night, and I already mentioned this early, that Lee Goldberg saying Bougie by clear the best running back in the state, and excuse me, Lee. I mean, Matt DeBias is probably as good as they come.
I think he said he was the best two-way player, though.
Now, he did say by clearly the best running back. But anyways, handoff to Rutherford off the left side, the guard trap, and he's going to go nowhere.
Yeah, I don't think he got even enough forward motion to get
he may have lost a yard. Depends on where they mark it. We lost maybe an inch here. So 3rd and inches.
Isn't that funny? It seems like
actually
Rusty Rutherford, they almost like they're more afraid of him. They've focused on that play. Last 2 games, really. He's had a hard time breaking free.
You know, we'll keep going to that one. No doubt, you know, because he will break a few before the day's over.
That's right. As the game progresses, that play opens up.
3rd and 1. McLeod.
End of the quarter.
That's going to do it. The clock got away from me even there. As Mike, that's the end of the first quarter. It's a good football game. No score, as both offensively and defensively, the Riots are looking very, very good as we begin.
Well, South Poland's got a big play coming up. They've got to get a first down, move this ball. They've been able to keep Sanford deep in their own territory, and this is the one time Sanford, this time when they punted, they actually got South Portland down in their own territory a bit, and South Poland's got to move that ball back down the field and at least maintain the field position. Even if they don't score points, they've got to at least try to keep Sanford pinned back all game long.
Man, what a great day again for football. I mean, the temperature's in the 50s. The sun is shining. You know, they predicted snow last night. That didn't happen. That's a good thing. The field is in actually great shape, Mike, for this time of year. 3rd playoff game in a row here. And
I expected probably a little more trouble because of all the rain we had last night. But you're right. That field looks pretty good. And we've seen a couple slips today, but that's about it.
Again, the winner advancing to University of Maine Orono next week, where they will meet the the Eastern champ, as Waterville, I believe, is playing host to Oxford Hills for the Eastern Maine Championship. The two winners meeting next week, Mike, up at Orono, and, you know, we're looking to go up there and cap off a fantastic season. But right now we've got work ahead of us, and that is keeping this explosive Sanford offense at bay and moving the ball effectively like we've done all year.
Now, we've even talked about the trip up and stuff, what's going on, but when we sat down, Mooch, you and I talked about, we got 2 hours of 48 minutes of football to play here first before we can even think about making reservations.
You got it. We're allowed to speculate and talk like that.
That's
the
right.
coaches and players need to take, you know, they need to eat what's in their plate kind of thing, but we can have fun at that. Here it is, South Poland, 3rd and 1. Left eye formation, handoff to Tobias off the left side. He's going to pick up the first down.
And it's going to take about 5 Redskins to slow him down.
Let me tell you what, Sanford would have had to bring all 58 players on the field to stop him for that first down, because Matt just had one goal and one focus in mind. That's to move the chains.
I like the way the offensive line is playing right now, Mooch. This is the best I felt about them in the last 3 games, because they just seem to get off to such a slow start.
Yeah, I know.
And today they are there. I mean, wow.
It's true, you know, and the defense gotten off to a great start as well. I mean, this is the first time in playoffs this year, Mike, where we've not trailed by 2 touchdowns in the first quarter.
Exactly.
Davini comes in near side, 1st and 10, Riots with the ball at their own 38-yard line. McLeod comes in motion, skips, hops, bobbles. Tobias off the right side. He's not going to go anywhere this time, as he's met by number 56 for Sanford.
Tim Dumont.
We got a flag, a late flag.
Wow.
Didn't catch it.
I didn't either, and this is going to be probably some sort of unlike sportsmanlike conduct or something like that.
Against the Riots, looks like it's got a dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct.
How come you
No,
said
it's
that
against
so nice?
Sanford.
Is it going
dead
against
ball?
Sanford?
It
Well,
is.
That's the second time they've
Personal
had a
foul.
big penalty. I know.
Wow. That's huge. That changes the play, changes field position. We'll take it, man.
Yeah, another first down for the Riots, given to them by the Sanford Redskins. They can't do too much of that. We talked about that earlier.
That's going to put the Riots at the 45-yard line of Sanford, give them a first down. Just underway here in the second quarter, no score. Big Frank Vickerson comes off. Who's in for him? Who's in for him, Coach? Snapping the ball.
It's going to be Matty Jones is probably going to centering the ball.
Then we do. Matt Jones, Big Matty brings him up. He's over the ball. 1st and 10, I formation. Orlando, the quarterback. Tobias, big hole, running with vengeance, still on his feet, spinning, twisting. Blow the whistle, ref.
I'll tell you, it is taking a lot of people to get Matt Tobias down on the ground right now. And this is a good thing, because our front line is doing such a nice job. Our offensive line is doing such a nice job. They're standing the Redskins up. They're not able to make leg tackles, which is enabling South Poland to get all sorts of extra yards after contact.
Absolutely. Ryan's doing a good job getting off fast and low at the line of scrimmage.
And they talked about that, and Matty Jones says we just got to keep ourselves low and make sure we hit them low and keep them driving.
2nd and 2. McLeod in motion. Matt hands off to Matt. Matt to Matt. Matt still on his feet, running hard. Matt Tobias will not be denied today, folks.
And they are shoving the ball right down the throat of that that Sanford Redskin defense, as they are running right up the middle, right over Matt Jones, the center.
Matt Jones, Mike LeConte, Bo Bozine. Bo Bozine had a great game last week against Biddeford, just did a fantastic job.
He was a man possessed. The coaches noticed it and had nothing but praises for the way he played last week.
Arthur Dickey, Nick Sobey, all doing just a great job right now. They want to go to Orono.
Hey, it's a long ride, but they won it.
That's right. LeConte and Bo Bozine on the left side. I formation. Here comes McLeod. Orlando rolling out. He's going for Davini. No, he's got Maine out there.
Oh,
can't
nice
hold
play.
on to it.
Ryan Maine was just a half a step ahead, and the ball was just thrown a little bit low, and the defense was able to knock it down. Who was that?
That was Bougie, but good pass by Matt Orlando as he steps back and fires.
See, I like that. That shows you Matt is on target a little bit.
That was
after 2 not very good-looking passes.
That was a little bit. That doesn't qualify, Mike, for a drag opposite, but that does qualify for throwing back against the grain, because he's rolling left, stops, and fires right. I like it, Coach.
I'll tell you, he surprised me, because I was looking the other side here.
We're opening it up, no doubt. 2nd and 10, Riots. Hand off to Tobias again. He's got some running room off to the right side as he cuts back into the inside, still on his feet, running hard. Hey, folks, do you see the heart of that young man right now?
Hey, that was Peter DeGray and Bougie trying to bring him down.
Matt Tobias picking up, looks like a first down. It is.
Wow. That's the way we like to see the Riots play, Mooch, as they are just marching down the field, doing the things they want to do, throwing passes. We haven't completed a pass yet, but we got Sanford scared. They have to watch out. We've been on target.
Sanford's defense been out there a long, long time. They've only run about 7 offensive plays. Right. Red Riots on the move at the 15-yard line. I formation. Orlando to Tobias again off the left side. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. This is where we need to open it up a little bit. I don't be surprised to see a counter crisscross right now, run something against the grain, because definitely Sanford gets very tough in the red zone, Mike.
I'll tell you, I was kind of watching the linemen a little bit because they've been doing such a good job, and Matt Jones got tangled up with one of the Sanford players, and a very big Sanford player, and they kind of do a little wrestling move there, and Matt looked like a back slam at the end of the play.
2nd and 8. Riots on the move. This is where the yardage gets tough. Sanford's in a 6-5. 8:50 remaining in the second quarter. Orlando's rolling to his left, looking to pass. He's going to hold on to it. He's going to hold on to it to himself and get to about the 12-yard line.
Yeah, he had no choices. Nobody was open. They tried to flood the left side of the field there, and nobody really was open, so he just kind of tucks it away and gets a couple yards.
He maybe picked up one. This is going to be third and about 7. 3rd and 8.
Well, we're in 2-down territory. The way we're running the ball, I'm not too worried. I think here. I think we're going to run 2 plays, and we got a very good shot at picking up the first down, if not breaking it for a touchdown.
Look for the counter crisscross here, Mike. I'm going to make that call. Okay.
Call the counter crisscross. I think Tobias is going to get the ball.
Okay. Tobias is T formation. We get him across, and the Cowboys split to the near side. Here it is. It's a counter. And they snuff it out in a big way.
Didn't fool anybody. Number 38, that is May or Ma Perkins. M-A with a capital H, Perkins.
Well, it was a counter crisscross. It was outside.
Yeah, you called it. It was a reverse.
Sanford all over that one. And of course, you know they probably were expecting it just like I was, but now it's going to be a 4th and 16, and obviously Sanford's defense is very tough down in the red zone, and they're establishing themselves.
I'll tell you, Sanford didn't get here again. They've been actually the favorite to come back to this game all year long. Regardless of their positioning in the standings, they have been the favorite to come back here all year long.
Red Riots at the 22-yard line, 4th and 16 as Orlando's rolling to his right. He's got Deviney out there. Deviney makes the catch.
What a catch!
Deviney, 4th and 16 from the 22-yard line, throws a strike. Matt Orlando to Chris Deviney, and it was fingertips, Mike, fingertips.
I'll tell you what, again, Matt a little high with his throw, but on target, and Deviney just goes up after it. And I told you, Mooch, I like Deviney for a receiver.
I'll tell you what, I was over yesterday watching the pass in practice. The skill positions were over there throwing the ball, and I was talking to Coach Spencer, and he said that Deviney is catching everything. He said He is just so focused, and he struggled. Matt and Chris struggled for that connection throughout the year, but I tell you what, it's perfected. Well, Chris Deviney, fingertip grab.
Matt hasn't been able to pick a favorite receiver really all year.
That was a great throw, great catch, and here's the kick, and it's good as the Riots go up 7-0. We're going to take a look at that again, Mike.
Yeah, I think we're going to have an instant replay on this, Mooch, and I'll tell you, is that exciting or what? I love it when they really make that come together.
Great pass by Matt Orlando. This is kind of a drag, Mike. They're coming back. It's a little slow here, but Matt Orlando rose to his right.
Yeah, a little interference. We wasn't able to quite get that. As you saw, it was getting all cloudy, but I all saw it for real.
I know you all recorded it anyways, and you can rewind it.
That's right.
But that kind of was again, that was from the family of a drag opposite,
Yes, it was, Mooch.
So maybe we're not doing the drag opposite, but it's from the family because
we're doing a variation of it.
He rolled to his right, threw back against grain, and that was fantastic. Great catch by Chris Deviney.
You're determined to get the drag opposite back into this game, haven't you?
Well, I talked to Coach about it the other night.
Did you?
At Bev's birthday party.
I'll tell you what, though. Matt Orlando has not had a chance to establish really a rapport with any one of his receivers. He's got some good speed guys out there, and I've just liked the way Davini runs his routes. He usually seems to be open, and now he's got some great hands, obviously. That's a great catch by him.
Here's the kick. Davini, Riots leading 7-0. 7 minutes left here. Bougie's got the ball. Coming up the middle, he falls. Actually, it's not Bougie, because Bougie wouldn't have fell.
That was not Bougie.
That's right, it was a wannabe Bougie.
That was Ryan Brown, I think, number 25. And you're right, he did. He come up upon it behind his blockers.
He fell down.
Tangled up with their feet and fell down.
Okay, we saw last year, Mike, a couple of times when the Riots scored, Sanford came right back with a big pass play going to Rue, and I would look for them to do something of that nature. Yeah, but if the Riots are going to sustain, they need to continue playing tough defense.
Yeah, this is going to be tough for Orlando and McCrossin.
Sanford touching the ball, Bougie off the left side. And, he and McCrossin have a collision there, and that was pretty good running by Bougie there, but McCrossin slowed him up.
Yeah, McCrossin and McLeod, Dan Sears all in on the tackle. Bougie is a good runner. He's going to be a load, too, and he kind of made something out of nothing there himself.
Bougie playing last week on a severe sprained ankle. Missed an entire quarter, came back and led the way, so he certainly can play with heart as well.
Well, the paper said the Redskins consider themselves to be completely healthy and going into this game.
2nd and 3. Here's Grondin back to pass. He's going to throw it out there. And that's great coverage by SP.
Dan Sears, yeah.
Dan Sears, McCrossin, both out there. It's going to take something to get behind the secondary of South Portland today, Mike.
I think Dan Sears is probably going to be your safety valve. He's going to watch for the guy going deep and give the extra coverage on that play so that they don't get beat with the big ball.
Here we are already. Another big third down for both teams as Sanford is at the South Portland 30-yard line. 3rd and 3. Rue goes to the left. The Cowboys on him. Power I formation. Here's the pitch to Bougie off the left side.
Wow!
Oh, he's tackled. Great tackle.
That's got to hurt.
McCrossin. Brandon McCrossin hits him at the ankles.
Brandon McCrossin come up like a shot and took his legs right out from under him. That'll bring 4th and 1, and I think they'll punt.
They are. That's, again, great defense. Sanford only picking up 1 first down. Riot's defense completely, at this point, shutting him down. 6:03 left in the half. Riot's leading 7-0. McCrossin along with Tobias back deep.
You may now. I don't think. I think it's too early for any kind of a fake punt here. There's no desperation yet.
You don't fake punt on 4th and 1 and deep in your own end. I don't think, anyways. Although Biddeford attempted a couple of those things. Grondin, here's the kick, and it's a good one. Matt Tobias calling for the fair catch.
Yeah. Again, the smart thing to do. The Redskins had some pretty good coverage down there on that kick, and why take a chance?
Wow, guys and gals, crowd, a great crowd. It is a great one, just as we suspected. Riots certainly dominate. Yes, I will continue to say that. Dominating the line of scrimmage right now.
That's right.
Not dominating on the clock, doesn't matter, but we are up 7-0 and playing very well, and I'm feeling pretty good, Mike.
Yeah, I think we are. We're dominating the time right now of the game. That's what we want to do. Not a lot of points for the amount of yardage we put on. We actually offensively put up on the board, but we're ahead 7-0, and we've got the ball.
Davini comes to the left side. Maine comes over, gets set, T formation. Hand off to Tobias. Here comes Mike LeConte. Great block. Tobias goes to the outside.
Yeah, he didn't pick up as much as I thought he was going to get out of that, but Mike LeConte actually put his block in and wasn't sure if Matt was going inside or outside. He almost had to turn around and take a look.
Tobias was hit by Bougie. That was a good tackle, but Tobias picked up a couple of, actually 3 yards.
Well, one of the statements, like I told you earlier, that I did see in the paper is that Bougie is considered one of the best two-way players in the game this year. And that's evident, I think. He has made some great defensive plays, as well as being one of the top running backs in the league.
He's one of the top, but he's not the best. I'll take Matt Tobias over. 5:02 left in the half. Riots 7-0. 2nd and 7 from their own 40. Here comes McCrossin. Hand off to Tobias, right up the gut. He's got some running room. He's going to pick up the first down.
Yeah, it's going to be close on the first down, Mooch.
Matt's kicking himself because he wanted to break it.
Yeah.
He was thinking he could break it, and again, it's where they spot it. They spot it just a little bit short where his knee touched. Yeah, so we've got 3rd and 1.
You'll always see Matt or any good running back, when you put the ball down after you get up off the ground, you always put it 1.5 yards ahead of where you actually landed. And the referees always bring it back, and we always boo them.
4:24 left in the half.
Matt Tobias is the workhorse on offense right now. He is just running so well.
3rd and 1. Where's Mike LeConte? He's on the left side. McCrossin in motion. Off the right side to Matt. He's not going to pick up the first down this time.
Well, decision time, Mooch. Do we kick the ball away?
We're going to see where the spot is. We're going to see where the spot is. It looks like it's, no, we're going to kick it away.
Yep, there goes Dan in. Not even a hesitation almost from the coach. He says, we want to keep field position. We want to keep pushing them back. His defense is playing so well.
Defense is playing well,
right.
And we got to leave it in their hands. So it's a wise, obviously very, very wise decision for South Portland to kick it away here.
Again, Sanford defense coming up big when they need to, and they are not letting this game get out of hand.
Dan Sears stands at his own 29-yard line. Obviously, the snap's very important. It's a good one by Arthur Dickey. Here's the kick, and it's a good kick. We're going to get us a roll here. Again, Sanford starting deep in their own territory. They've not had great field position, Mike, at all to start.
Again, they have not played, although they're not a wide-open offense anyway, Mooch. They only throw to complement their running game. But keeping them deep in their own end of the field really takes some of their options away from them.
Well, what they do have, and you see, is they have. Bougie has breakaway capability. You know, when you see his runs in the paper, it's 50 yards, 56 yards, 41 yards, that kind of thing. And here's a handoff to him off the left side. Actually, there he is right there. There it is, just like we talk about. That's what he has, is the big play capability, the big run capability.
And he came right up through the middle of the defense that time, too. And Ryan McLeod is the one that finally gets a hold of his leg and hangs on as Matt Orlando comes in to help finish off the play. But a big run, what was that, 30-yard run?
That was just about a 30-yard run, exactly. And that's what he's capable of doing, and that's what we got to shut down and not allow them to get untracked here. 3 minutes left here in the half. Again, handoff to Bougie off the left side. He's going nowhere this time. As he's tackled right at the line of scrimmage, maybe gets a half a yard, and that's what you got to do, wrap the arms.
Yeah, Brandon McCrossan was the one that stepped in and just hit him right dead at the line of scrimmage, and then got lots of help from everybody else.
Riots are doing a good job up front again, because that's what they got to do is, you know, you're going to give up 1 or 2 plays like that, Mike, from a Bougie because he is a good back, but we got to get the good penetration up front, you know, to stop Bougie's momentum and his progress so that we can get help there.
That's been the difference in today's defensive team, is they are getting a lot of penetration.
2nd and 9. Sanford. Here's a counter to Bougie, and that's nowhere.
And guess who? Pat Lyons broke that one up as he come in and tripped him up early.
Pat Lyons along with Rusty Rutherford.
Rusty Rutherford made the final tackle.
in on the tackle as well.
Right. Again, Pat Lyons, one of those. Matt Ferrani, who's gone down, 5 games ago, was considered to be an impact player at the nose guard position. And he's out, and Pat Lyons has had to step in and is really starting to learn his craft down there.
2 minutes left here in the half. Riots holding on to a 7-0 lead. Sanford with the ball, 3rd down. Grondin's rolling to his left. Can't even talk, a screen set up on the left side, and there's just no one there.
Nobody was looking for the ball. They were all trying to block Ryan Maine. I mean, not Ryan Maine, but Mike LeCon.
Grondin throwing back rather dangerously, too, if you will.
Really?
And, man, that was
Ryan ugly Maine,
that was ugly. That was an ugly-looking pass. We picked that one off, and we're going, man. 1:49 left. The Riots are going to get one more opportunity, we think, anyways, at a score as DeBias and McCrossan are back. Here's a kick, and it's a pretty good kick. The Cowboy takes it on his left side. He's got some wheels, a little bit of running room. But Rue drags him down at the 30-yard line.
I really like McCrossan's guts. He's playing with some fire out there, and he says, I'm taking this and running.
Oh, yeah, I've seen so many of the visiting teams come in here, fair catch it, 10 yards, no one near them, fair catch it. Riots, we catch the ball and run the ball.
Well, you've got to figure the last one we called a fair catch, and that was Matt DeBias, but he had like a 2-yard cushion. We only had about a 5-yard cushion here, and McCrossan says, that's enough, I think. I'm going.
Okay, now you got to play with kind of what I call bifocal vision here, Mike. Number 1, and hang on the ball.
And number 2, don't run the clock out.
Yeah, 140. And number 2, let's try to put some more points on the board. McCrossan's in the slot. DeVinny to his right. Orlando to DeBias off the right side, twists and turns, maybe picks up a yard.
Yeah, that's Andy Gonyu. He was featured in the article today in the paper as being being the most improved player on this team. He's 6'4", 235-pound linebacker.
Yeah.
He's a big kid.
Yeah, that's nice.
He's made a lot of tackles here today, too.
A little over a minute left in the first half, and it's been a great one. Riots leading 7-0 with the ball. 2nd and 9 at their own 31-yard line.
Is it me, or do I see a lot of enthusiasm in Matt Orlando when he's running back with the play?
No, there is enthusiasm there. As the Sanford is shifting. Tobias off the left side. Still on his feet. Dragging. Dragging number 56 for about 2 yards.
Yeah, Tim Dumont got a hold of his shirt and wouldn't let go. And Gagnon comes in and helps finally finish it off.
That's funny.
After what, a good 6-yard gain, though.
3 at the 37.
38 seconds left, Mike. We've got time for a couple plays here.
Yeah, and again, no panic here or anybody. South Poland just going to run their plays. They might try to, well, I don't know. I think we're going to go over a first down first, but maybe a pass play here.
25 seconds left, 3rd and 3. Orlando pitch to Tobias.
Oh, some nice
got
blocking.
the running room. He's going to pick up the first down. Stop, spin.
Timeout.
Timeout.
Timeout. Now coach says, all right, now we've got the first down. I got a couple 3 plays to play with only 15 seconds on the clock.
15 seconds left on the clock.
Now we can look at something maybe deep downfield.
Timeout. Riots looking for one or two plays here.
What a fast first half, Mooch.
Oh, huge. That's good, too, because I got places to go. No, I'm just kidding. I'll tell you what, Mike, anything can happen. You know, the second half's going to be some adjustments made, and I think what we got to do as Riots is just maintain the same intensity. It's not too many adjustments we have to do at this point. Just maintain the same passion and same intensity of play. Sanford, you got to go in and scratch your head. You know, remember what we said earlier? Right. You stop Bougie in the backfield, you get penetration, you stop Sanford. Because we're doing a good job. I mean, I don't know how many times they've thrown the ball, maybe 2 or 3, but our coverage has been phenomenal.
Yeah, and actually their biggest play from scrimmage has been a 30-yard run by Bougie, and like you said, we're going to give up a play or two like that because the guy is good, and they have a good offensive line.
Oh, man. This doesn't get any more exciting than this, guys, apart from the goal ball. But Western Maine Class A football has been phenomenal football games over the past 10 years.
Well, no Macarena yet because we need 2 touchdowns.
No, it's a Mike Arena.
I got to do the Mike Arena.
Mike Arena.
Not till we get 2 touchdown lead. Again, lots of options here for Coach Wolfgram and his group. He can do just about whatever he wants now with 15 seconds left. You don't want to give up an interception return for a touchdown.
Yeah,
but you still want to kind of go downfield.
Yeah, you got to throw it downfield, obviously.
Sure.
You don't look for anything in the flat. Anything in the flat gets picked off and goes the other way. But, you know, I'd look for something downfield.
Crossing to Vinny. I mean, you got plenty of speed out here.
Yeah, I agree with you. Even look for a nice throwback to the quarterback. How's that sound? 15 seconds left here in the first half. Orlando hands off to Tobias, fakes everybody out. Matt's still on his feet. He's running with a vengeance, just like we said. We got time for call time.
Timeout.
We do. I don't know if it's if it's a timeout. It is a timeout by the Riots. I know they stopped the clock.
And again, Coach Wolfgram, he likes that. That's the surprise play. You're expecting him to take a chance and get downfield a little bit.
And you pick up 25 yards up the middle, you know.
Still have 7 seconds to do another play downfield if that's what you choose.
You know, I told you it would come down to coaching. You know, a close ball game, you come down to coaching. You give Coach Wolfgram 1 or 2 shots at any team. You know, if you give him, you know what I'm saying, like we talked about playing Noble a couple years ago, what we did to them. You know what I'm saying? After losing the Western Maine final up here, we went down, shut them down twice down there. The second time tattooing them.
And they surprised us. That's right. They surprised us. And then we went back, and the coach said, "Hey, I've got the answer now." I think he's got the answer to Sanford. If our guys play the game, you know, the way that he's been teaching them all week, they're probably going to be able to stop Sanford.
This is probably the first time, Mike, I'll bet this year that Sanford's been shut out in the first half.
Oh, really? I know.
You know,
and South Poland finally taking the initiative and leading at the end of the half.
All right, Mike, why don't you shut this thing down, okay, man? I'm going to make my way down.
Scoot if you're
I'm going to make my way down.
We got a heck of a crowd here, and potentially one more play, it looks like, folks, from South Poland, as they're going to line up. Single man backfield, the bias. Orlando steps up to the ball, 7 seconds to go. He's going to look downfield for the pass. He's got some time. He throws the ball. It's long. He's got Deviney out there. It's going to be intercepted and down at about the 1-yard line by Sanford, as South Poland will go in with a 7-0 lead after a really good first half of ball. 2 tough defenses going at each other. South Poland with the better field position most of the game and having a good running attack and a passing attack that's done the job. So we'll see you back here at the start of the second half, folks, and it's going to be a great one.
It's a fantastic game, just like it would be. And the South Portland Red and Riots playing with a very, very tenacious defense right now, Mike, holding on to a 7-0 lead. And I'll tell you what, I got to credit the coaching staff right now, just like we said earlier and just like we thought. They've done a great job so far anyways at shutting this high-powered Sanford offense down.
You're right. And we talk about tenacious defense. This is the first game in the last two in the playoffs so far that I haven't felt threatened in the game because they've played so well. Trouble is that we have a big play offense here on Sanford's side. They have the capability of scoring from anywhere on the field, and they've got 24 more minutes to play just like they did the first half.
I know that, if there is a scary aspect to it, that's it. I mean, and I kind of didn't follow Sanford a whole lot, obviously, by any means. But I do, recall reading some articles throughout the year, and watching their scores and Bougie scoring from 50 yards, 60 yards, 51, that kind of thing, all in the same game. So, he's a good runner and has the ability to break away like that. But we certainly have held him at bay, and we need to continue to do the same thing. I mean, Rusty Rutherford and Mike LeCon have just done a great job at linebacker, as well as everyone up front, Vozine and Lyons, Dickey, Heslip, Ryan Maine, doing a great job, and that's what we need to do. And of course, McLeod and McCrossin in on some tackles. Dan Sears and Matt Orlando have done a great job when Sanford has gone deep, Mike. They've great coverage on Brew. And that's the key. We shut them down. We don't have to score any more points. That's the good news. We don't have to score again if we can continue to shut them down like we've done.
Yeah, the defense, like I said, is just playing at a point where there's a comfort level of the way they're playing. If they can continue with that intensity, this game, is theirs to hang on to now, basically. But I don't think we're going to see any hanging on. I think we're going to see a lot of aggression from both teams. Coach Wolfram knows better as well as anybody that Bougie can make a long run. Rue's a good receiver. Grondin can get the ball downfield. I mean, things can happen to you, and you never take anything for granted. Right up until 1 second left to go, and it's your ball, 1st and 10, and you put the knee down.
Absolutely. And we need to just continue playing with that same intensity. And we've just done a good job defensively up front, making pressure, getting off the ball quicker. I mean, Sanford obviously very, very much bigger than us, but we just have got off the ball so low. Oh. And when you do that, when you cause penetration in the backfield and you cause Bougie to have to stop, or cut one way, if he's going full speed with the ball, then obviously he's very dangerous. But if we make good penetration like we've done, then we can cause a little bit of a delay while help gets there. You know what I'm saying? So we need to keep doing that. I mean, it's the Western Maine final, winner advancing, 7-0, South Portland leading, and getting the ball back first, which is, again, another great sign. And, again, I would look for Sanford to probably kick the ball low, punch it, do whatever, but not give Matt DeBias an opportunity to get some speed going and run back a big one against him.
Some of the things I've noticed on our defense, too, Mike LeConte, we felt he was going to have to pick up his game today and really play the game of his life. I think he has, except it's been quiet because the guys that are making the tackles are McCrossin and McLeod from the outside. But what's happened is LeConte and the front and the defensive line, they're bunging things up so bad that, they're not making the tackles, but these other guys are coming up and doing it for them.
Absolutely.
And that's part of the game. Somebody got to step up and do something that maybe they shouldn't have had to do, but they've got to step up, and they're doing it right now. This team is hitting on all cylinders. Offensively, we've got a lot more yardage, I think, than the Redskins do.
Oh, we do, definitely. I think Sanford's only, my guess is they're under 100 yards offensively.
Yeah, I think 60-something.
That was 60 yards offensively. Yeah. The Riot's just doing a great job in shutting them down. And, what Sanford's been able to do the past is, last year when we played them is they were able to get a first down, it seemed like, at will,
Yeah.
And no matter if it was 3rd and 9, or 3rd and 2, they're just so explosive, but we've just done a great job against them. What's amazing, as we watch the second half toss here, not toss, but just a revisitation of the captains,
yeah.
We're the only team, I think, that's never brought the entire team on the field, and I don't know if it's tries to be an intimidation factor or what, but certainly hasn't affected us over the years.
Nah, it really hasn't. We've seen it all, and every team does their thing, Mooch, and whatever they think works for them is all right with me. But
winner going to Super Bowl. How's that sound? Winner going to Super Bowl at the University of Maine, Orono next week.
It's funny, we got a few minutes here to talk. There's a lot of controversy about the state game location. Up at Orono, they have a artificial grass field. That means it's just like a cement pad with a thin carpet on top of it. And the biggest thing is that it changes the whole scope of high school football and what these kids have played all their lives.
Yeah.
And they're talking about they'd have to buy new shoes if they go up there, which is a tremendous expense to any of these programs. And I'm not sure exactly how this will all play out. Orono obviously got a beautiful facility up there, but I don't think it's the right place for high school players to go up and have to play on when they're not used to playing that kind of surface.
Yeah, it'd be great if it were grass surface, but obviously it's not, and that's unfortunately the hand that's been dealt to us.
Yep.
And we'll just have to go do it and do what we do best. And we are 24 minutes of football away from that one, and the winner here advancing, and we're believing it's the Riots, as the Red Riots offense is going to get their first shot at the ball here off to our left side as we're getting ready to go back for the kick. Man, that was Mike, here it is, 2:11. An hour, an hour and, 12 minutes have passed, and we've already played the first half and
It's
gone through the halftime. It's just
It's incredible, isn't it? But that's because both teams feature running games.
I'm sorry, we are kicking off. I apologize. I thought we were
we received
getting the
in
ball.
the first half.
And as I'm watching Sanford come out, I'm thinking, boy, that's awful weird-looking kick formation. But
keeping
they are
safeties
receiving,
back.
so
keeping safeties back.
So the Sanford Redskins defending Western Maine and Class A champs off to the right to receive the kickoff at the start of the second half. Chris Deviney, who catching the only score, is kicking, and he's got a great leg. And here's the kick. It's a good kick. It's going to go to Bougie at the 5. Oh, he's nailed, and that looked like a face mask that we got away with.
Pat Lyons.
That was huge.
In on the tackle with DJ Tangway. And somebody's hurt, and he was the first, number 38.
That's Tangway.
That's Mike McVeigh coming off hurt.
McVeigh,
he was the first one to make contact down there.
You know what he did, though? He threw himself into the wedge.
God.
He was a wedge buster.
You talk about
threw
a suicide.
himself into it, and he's got a hurting left side there.
Yeah, he'll have to shake that off a little bit, but boy, he's in pain as he sits down and tells the trainer, I think you better take a look at me. I think I left part of my body out there.
Okay, the second half underway. Here's number 11. And he's going to be met by, I think that was Brandon McCrossan.
Yeah, Brandon McCrossan in on the tackle. As again, he had plenty of time to wait for it. The defensive line just held everybody else on. All he do is wait for the guy to come running through and make the tackle.
Brandon McCrossan along with Art Dickey in on the tackle. And that's just a great heads-up play by McCrossan. And he came up from the secondary to make that tackle. See, what the defensive backs do is they key on the line, the ends. If the ends block down, they know it's a run, so that allows him to come up quickly. Second half just underway. Handoff to Bougie off the left side. Mike LeConte.
And there's Mike LeConte along with Brian McLeod. And there's where Mike quietly is just everywhere he needs to be today.
Again, the Sanford offense getting nowhere as the Riots, 2 huge steps here. And Sanford's faced with a long 3rd and 8, again, deep in their own end at the 25-yard line, and that's just huge defense, Mike.
How do you keep these kids as high as they were coming into this game? You know what I mean? It's going to halftime. Boy, you've got to keep them up.
It's called passion and vision.
It is.
Big 3rd down. Here's Grondin back to catch, and there's the catch. There's the big pass play that we're afraid of, and that Rue and Grondin were able to hook up on last year a couple different times, and that was really close. I think McCrossan was going for the interception.
Yeah, McCrossan definitely went after the ball that time to try to knock it down. Didn't get there, and the ball gets completed, and Rue doing a nice job keeping his feet in bounds.
He did. That was very, very close, and so far Sanford's only had 2 plays. The big run by Bougie and the big catch by Rue here. Apart from that, the South Poland defense has been very tough. This is the first time Sanford offense has been in the Riot territory. Bougie off the right side.
And again, this is why Sanford is the defending champs. They are a good team. We don't expect to just come in here and completely dominate them the whole game, and yet we have up to this point, but they are going to make some big plays.
Again, McCrossan and Dickey in on the stop as Sanford is moving the ball here, only with 1 play. Got shut down offensively running the ball and go to the pass. 2nd and 7, Sanford. Rue comes to the left side. Hand off to the big fullback, and he goes nowhere. Art Dickey,
and
along with Rusty Rutherford, saying nowhere.
Art Dickey actually got under him and knocked him down, but Rutherford grabbed a hold of him, picked him up, and just said, I think I'll body slam him just for emphasis.
I think that the Riots have definitely made a statement here, Mike, that you're not running the ball against us today, guys. If it's going to happen, it's going to be in the air.
And even then, it's going to be tough. Grondin is not the type of passing quarterback that we've seen other teams possess.
No, he's certainly not of the caliber of passing quarterback that we faced with the Portlands and Westbrooks and Deerings and yada, yada, yada. Anyways, 3rd and 6. Sanford. He's back to pass. It's a little give and go here. He's got Grondin out there. And it's going to be intercepted. Pass is intercepted by Brandon McCrossin.
Oh,
Yes!
How did he do that?
Brandon McCrossin coming up with a pick as they're double teaming Rue as he goes out there, steps in front of Rue, picks it off. Cowboy picks it off. 1st and 10 Riots the other way.
Boy, that's how you stop a drive, isn't it, Mooch? You just take the ball away from him.
Absolutely. Again, Grondin is not the quarterback that we've seen. Does not have the passing ability of the other quarterbacks that we face, Mike.
Yeah, he more throws the ball into the general direction of one of his receivers, and he's got good receivers, and they go after it. That was not on target at all, although it was there.
Riots with the ball, 1st and 10. Twins right at their own 16-yard line. Handoff to Tobias up the left side. He comes up the middle, spins, still on his feet. He's going to pick up about 5 yards.
I'll tell you what, a huge hole in there as he had lots of running room, and it looked like he just could go forever, and Sanford doing a nice job shutting it down.
2nd and 4, Red Riots. Clock control.
Coach is loving this because
of essence here.
He's playing his game plan right now. He's not being pushed into something that he doesn't want to do. And his team is just doing the things that he taught him to do this week.
2nd and 4. Hand off to Rutherford. He's got some running room this time.
He's got lots of running room now. He's got lots of running room. Bougie's got a shot at him.
Pick up. He's still on his feet. He's got to pick up about 55 yards down to the 22-yard line. I tell you what, you run the guy trap enough, it works.
I'll tell you what, that was a nice job by quarterback Matt Orlando, looking like he was going back to Tobias to give him the ball, but yet he was doing a little shuttle handoff here to Rusty, who just broke free. I mean, he broke a tackle too early and then just was gone.
Rusty Rutherford on the guide trap. 57 yards, it looks like, on the guide trap. They shut that down pretty much today, but it hits quickly, and when it does, it counts. 1st and 10, Riots. Twins left. Tobias with the ball up the middle, running, overpowering people.
We've seen, that was number 11 that hit him first, and he just ran right through their linebacker, Pat Shares, and he's a big kid. And Matt didn't even slow down when he touched him.
Matt Tobias running straight ahead, hard, banging off tackles off that right side.
You know, we're at a point now where the teams we faced were at last 2 weeks.
Sanford
we're picking up 6 yards at a time on 1st down rather than the 1 or 2 yards that we've been getting. The offensive line is just doing a tremendous job at coming off the ball and making holes for the running backs.
My. Anything you ever wanted to see in a Red Riot display is happening today before our eyes, just controlling the line of scrimmage, defensively shutting Sanford down, and Mike just having a great job up front offensively, controlling that line of scrimmage, enabling the Riots to move the ball.
Well, I think we touched on it earlier that the offensive line, defensive line were a couple of the keys we needed to see today. They needed to dominate play. They have done that. And Sanford is back on the heels, so that's why they're calling a timeout right now. They don't know what's happening to them.
7:56 left here in the 3rd quarter. Timeout. Sanford calling timeout. Sanford coach trying to figure out how to stop these guys.
Good note. Now that we've got a minute here, I've just kind of looked down. I see McVeigh, who was shaken up on the kickoff at the beginning of the half. He's walking around down and looking just fine. I think he says, hey, if we get the kickoff again, I'll be ready.
Here we go, Red Riots. 2nd and 4. Knocking on the door once again at the Sanford 18-yard line.
I love 2nd and 4s, Coach.
Ryan Maine set. Tobias cuts up. He's in the end zone, baby. No one is stopping him. Riots take it in to go up 13-0.
Rusty Rutherford made a beautiful block on the outside. Matt saw it, cut up to the middle, and just went all the way.
Rusty Rutherford with a great lead block. Great blocking on that right side as Matt Tobias breaks to the inside. Evades one tackler. No one was stopping him, Mike.
He had a full head of steam after about the 2nd step. And you're right, he wasn't stopping for nothing.
You're looking at a football team with a mission, folks, right now, led by a great core of seniors. And their goal is to rebound from last year's loss and go play for the state ball again. Here's the kick by DeVinny.
Top.
It's good. Riots up 14-0.
Now we can start doing the Macarena, Mooch, okay?
If you're
Turn
looking,
that hand over,
you're looking around at a stunned Sanford crowd coming in here with anticipation. Of course, I know this one's not over by any means, but I tell you what, the way our defense is playing, Mike, you got to love our chances here.
I'd like to have another 50 points on the board, I think, Mooch, but you're right. I like the way the defense is playing, and they just can't let down now. And as fired up as they are, I just don't see that happening. But again, Sanford isn't here because they're a poor team. They're here because they're a good team.
How you doing? Tua wants a lollipop. Someone get him a lollipop. They're in my coat. Go get them there. There's 2 there.
So
love
Sanford,
all those red lollipops.
Sanford, a shaken team right now. They're just not sure what's happening to them.
Well, they're not used to getting pushed around like this.
South Poland is just playing inspired football. And for all the injuries we've had, we talked about the effect that's had. We have had some people step up and play some great ball here. And Matt Tobias down there sitting taking a rest. Only plays one way, but boy, I'll tell you, the way he plays.
He's running hard. You know, Sanford's a good ball team. They're certainly not going to go away by any means, Mike. They're a good football team. They're the defending state champ. But they're in our house again right now. Here's the kick to number 25, and he's not liking running too much. And he's going to be smothered.
Oh, that's Lamb makes the first contact.
Joe Lamb with
McCrossin in on the tackle.
Brandon McCrossin, too.
And I think DJ Tangway again. These guys are a force out there.
Hey, Mike, real quick, on a more serious note, Phil Stroud, who's done some commentary with us, I'd just like to say to everyone out there that has enjoyed watching him with us, Phil suffered a heart attack, believe it or not, last week, and actually suffered 2. Had an emergency quadruple bypass, and was released from a hospital today as 25 gets the tackle, gets the handoff.
Yeah, tackle made there by Matt Orlando and Dan Sears and Rusty
Rutherford, who's playing a great game. So Phil has recovered, still in the healing process, but our thoughts and prayers go out to him, and he'll rejoin us next year.
The amazing thing about modern medicine, folks, he's had a quadruple bypass, and he was only in the hospital for a couple of days.
He had it on Monday afternoon, and then he was discharged in a Harrisburg, Pennsylvania hospital.
Good luck to Phil on his recovery.
14-0, Riots leading. Here's the pitch to Bougie. He's going to throw it. He's going to throw it out there. He's got Rue, but that's going to be dropped.
Oh, no! Dan Sears got turned around, and Rue dropped the ball.
Yeah, but you know what? Had Sears turned around, he could have picked that off because that was not well thrown by any means.
That's right, and Dan got turned around and lost where the ball was, turned the wrong direction, and then Rue hits it right in the gut, and he drops it.
I tell you what, the quarterback Grondin was open over here in the flat on a throwback, but Bougie was looking for Rue all the way. And I tell you what, that's a good see a razzle-dazzle flea flicker like that. Yep. You know what that's a good sign of? That, hey, we can't run out regular offense against these guys right now. 3rd and 4. Sanford with the ball. Here's the option. Grondin's going to keep it himself. Depends on where they mark it, and he is going to get the first down.
You know, Ryan Maine probably is kicking himself because he thought the ball was going to get tossed outside. Went with a fake, and he probably could have sacked the quarterback back there behind the line of scrimmage. But he did what he had to do. He made that play turn inside.
Clock is running. 6:55 left here in the 3rd quarter. Riots leading 14-0. Have shut down Sanford's offense to this point. Rue's going to go split to the right.
Yeah, they got to watch out for Rue because they're going to go to him again.
Here's the counter. Oh, boo!
Guess who?
That was Bo Bosey.
Bo, and
hello to Bougie. You're not going anywhere, pal.
Woo! Bo just steps in and just clobbers Bougie in the backfield, and they lose 3 yards on the play.
Oh, man, Bo Bosey just nailing Kevin Bougie before he got back. In fact, he lost 4 yards.
And don't forget Art Dickey in there, too, who actually got a little piece of that action afterwards.
2nd and 13, Riots defense. Again, very strong. Here's the pass over the middle. Tipped by Arthur Dickey, number 62.
Hey, guess who was covering Rue this time? Mike LeConte.
I saw him.
And covering him well, he was right there.
Oh. Art Dickey looked like Art Dickey anyways, knocking the ball down.
Yeah, I think it was.
Riots defense just tattooing Sanford at this point.
Now, they can't let up. They know that. They know that the offense has got them 2 touchdowns up there on the board, and they've got to protect that lead. And donuts, they want the donuts in this game. You know it.
Oh, a shutout would be unbelievable. Grondin rolls to his right. It's a little give and go. He's going for Bougie. He's going to throw it out there. Boom! That was offensive pass. It looked it anyways.
Well, both players went after the ball.
Hey,
no
Bougie,
call.
you got company today, friend.
No call on that. I think that was a good no call that time, because you're right. They could have called pass interference if they wanted to.
Great coverage back there as the Riots are going to get the ball back in excellent field position. Red Riot defense just all over the Sanford Redskins today, Mike. Just an unbelievable display. Great job by the South Portland coaching staff at this point. 5:57 left in the third quarter. Here's the kick. It's a good kick. It's going to be taken by the Cowboy as he's going to try to get to the wall again, and he's
got one block. He's got two.
Still on his feet, spins.
He gets one from Ryan McLeod, who hit the first guy that got down there.
You know, Mike, it's like, like I've said, like we've said all year, you have a few teams pop their heads up and visit the top ranks for a couple years. Noble and Marshwood did that for a bit. We haven't heard from them for a while. Sanford, again, great team.
Last year, this year,
back. You know, what's interesting is the Riot's been on the top for many, many years, and they'll have a great team again next year. We'll see where Sanford is next year at this point. 5:45 remaining in the third quarter. Riots leading 14-0. Tobias, left side.
Wow. Talk about tough running. He got hit and stood up and still just kept chugging.
Oh, my goodness. Matt Tobias is running like you read about it.
Net gain of about a yard. Oh, actually, look at that. 3 yards.
Picked up 3.
Wow.
A tough 3.
They are getting tougher right now by the moment. And, again, South Portland doesn't even have to worry about whether they pass now or not, but that pass has made Sanford look or blink, and the run attack is just going great.
We're just all over them on the line of scrimmage.
We are, too.
Pitch to Tobias off the left side. There's a nice block by Rusty Rutherford. Matt's going to get outside close to the first down. He's going to go over midfield.
Yeah, he's going to be about 3.5, 4 yards short, but again, South Portland can do what they want, and they're going to kick the, even if they have to kick the ball, they're going to put Sanford back deep in their territory, which is where we want to keep that
running
ball.
The clock. Time is on our side here. Just under 4 minutes left. Recap the scoring.
Whoa.
Chris Davini scoring on a beautifully thrown ball by Matt Orlando on a 4th and 16 from the 22-yard line, making a great catch. And then Matt Tobias running from 15 yards out, giving the Riots a 14-0 lead. We got us an offsides. Again, another penalty against Sanford Redskins. That's going to give the Riots a first down.
Now, let's tell you that one penalty didn't lead to a score. Well, both their penalties before did not lead to scores. They ended up stopping us on both those drives, but they did enable us to keep ball control.
This is huge.
That's right. And this is 5 more yards. This will give us first and 10. That's right. Pushes it over.
So far, 3 penalties in the ball game. All 3 being against Sanford is
all 3 giving us first downs.
Yeah, absolutely, and causing drives to be maintained. South Portland playing flawless football right now.
Ball control is the name of the game. You know that. As long as you got the ball, they can't score on you.
First and 10, Riots at the Sanford 45-yard line, 44-yard line. Here's a handoff to Brandon McCrossin on the left side. If he can break free, he's got
Orlando makes a great block.
Great block by Orlando to get McCrossin free. Otherwise, Mike, that looked like it was stopped for a loss, but...
Yeah, it hadn't been for that. I mean, he's going to end up picking up 3 yards or 2 yards on the play. But if not for that block by Orlando, he would have got nothing.
Interesting right here. You know, as I take a look at the counter crisscross, Mike, we've run that all year, and the handoff has been inside. We've run it 3 times today, and it's been on the outside. Maybe they saw something in the line of defensive line that has, made the adjustment to go on the outside. But anyways, here it is, 2nd and 7. McCross is going to go to the left side. Look for Orlando to throw the ball here. Great throwing down. No, he's going to hand off to Tobias off the left side. Matty's got a little bit of running room. Actually, he's going to pick up about 4 yards.
Yeah, again, a good surge there. Rusty Rutherford lead blocking for him, just a good surge. The Redskins are not giving up a lot. They are still playing some pretty good defense, but South Portland is just constantly moving on. Yes, that's exactly right. Grinding them down.
We're wearing them down. The Sanford defense has been on the field for most of the day, and they're just getting tired. Again, we got great athletes on our side of the ball.
Well, you take nothing away from Sanford, the type of year they had, but they come up against an inspired South Portland Riot team here today. And South Portland really controlling this game right now.
3rd and 4. 3rd and 4. Orlando rolls to his left. He's looking. He's going to tuck it, keep it himself. makes one move. He's gonna pick up the first down.
Yes.
Great little quick fake there to freeze the linebacker. Then he tucks it himself and picks up the first down.
Yeah, Mike LeConte went out there. He was pass blocking, and as soon as Orlando started to go, he made a couple little blocks, and Orlando, with some nice running on his own, picks up the first down.
Red Riots, most importantly, keeping the ball and keeping the clock running.
Time of possession.
Time is on your side.
It's on our side.
There it is. I
Yes,
can't
it
sing,
is.
but, you know. All right. Hey, thanks to Al and Bev McLean again for just another great year of videotaping and bringing Red Riot football to all the homes in the city. 1st and 10 Riots. Hand off to Rutherford off the left side as he cuts back to the right. He's on his horse.
Save by
R-squared down to the 14-yard line.
Hey, that trap is starting to work for him. As you saw, nothing in the first half. In the second half, we've had 2 big runs by Rusty Rutherford.
Wow, guys, great job up front. I tell you what, we punched this one in, folks.
I'll feel a lot better.
And I'll be right back because I'm making my hotel reservation because...
I got a phone up here, Mooch. We'll make the call.
Riots, 1st and 10, having their way offensively. Here's a handoff to Tobias off the left side. Great block by Mike LeConte. Matt still going forward. He carries 3 tacklers forward.
Yeah, he was leading Art Dickey out there, and Art was looking for somebody to hit, but there just wasn't anybody there.
I'll tell you what, you're looking at a stunned Sanford crowd as the Red Riots are just handing Sanford their heads on the line of scrimmage there, just having their way, Mike, offensively and defensively. It's the best football that the Riots have played all year.
We've been waiting to see this type of football all year long, and today has been the best played game I've seen them.
2nd and 6, Riots, T formation. The bias.
The workhorse.
Cuts up inside, cuts back.
Touchdown.
He's in the end zone, baby.
In the end zone. Touchdown. And the bias.
Red Riots, 3 touchdowns. Lead over the defending champ.
Again, South Poland with a 20-0 lead right now.
Hey,
I wouldn't have thought this much. I thought it was going to be close. And they are
Lee
really
Goldberg? Well, he said Bougie's the best, clearly the best running back in the state.
Yep.
He doesn't have a clue, folks. I'll tell you what, the best running back in the state is number 34.
And he scored 2 touchdowns today.
We're going to Bowl. We're going to Super Bowl. Tor's looking at me like, hey, man, there it is. 21.
It is good. 21-0 as South Poland is really just running on all cylinders. And you're right, Mooch. This is the best game I've seen them play against a top quality opponent all season long. Unbelievable.
I can't chew gum. I just pulled out a piece of gum. I can't chew gum. Got Greg here. He's like, who's this madman next to me? I can walk. Tor said I can walk.
The Riot fans are going nuts here. And, you know, a little story. Today I come to the game. I always come about an hour earlier, a little more than that. I always can drive in the parking lot. Sanford got here. The fans got here at 10 in the morning. Filled our parking lot up. South Poland fans had to walk from all over the city to get into the game. They come over here. They roped off a section of the stands on this side of the field, which I don't blame them. We don't have a real good facility for visitors over here. But, I mean, we're aggressive, just like Biddeford usually is. And right now they're probably all wishing they could go to the other side of the field and just stand or maybe leave.
That's true. You know, and the papers have it, what, 26? They
28 to 22, yes.
Al McLean just handed me the phone to call a hotel and make a reservation for next week. But paper has it 26-20, and Tom Chard. Anyways, Riots are up. They do have their 21, Tom.
Yeah, don't let up here. They've got to play hard.
We still got a ways to go, and that's a great kick. That's just a phenomenal kick to make him run from there.
That Orlando's got to have to stop this one.
Makes the tackle at the 45. That was a great job. Number 25 found himself with some running room, probably pretty surprised, but that was just a great kick. That's too bad we couldn't capitalize on the coverage.
A lot of bodies flying that time, and that's one of the things about doing these diving tackles. If you don't quite hit the guy, you don't have time to wrap him up. And we missed about 3 tackles down here. That's all.
We did. I still love the way our defense is playing.
That's right. Give them all the credit in the world. They've got us where we are today.
See, because you take Sanford out of their game plan. Okay, they got Bougie in motion because they're going to try to get him in the flat and get him the ball. Here comes Ryan Maine. Here's the pass. That one's almost picked off.
That was Ryan Maine, who was clutching at his legs.
See, this is excellent because you know what you do is you absolutely take Sanford out of their game plan,
Yes.
Mike. All right, because they got to go and do the things out of desperation.
Right.
And that really puts the defense to an advantage because many mistakes occurred during this time. And
this is where you get the big interceptions and
absolutely.
stuff like that. But big plays can happen off some of this stuff,
that,
too.
But the Riot's defense
Right.
playing so tough, there's no way they're giving up 3 touchdowns today. 2nd and 10, Sanford. Bougie again in motion. Rue is looking to pass, and he's going to throw it out there, and he's overthrows everybody.
Yeah, see, now Rue is nervous. He's just, Grondin, he's nervous. He's just throwing the ball.
Grondin, I mean.
Yeah, he's just throwing the ball.
Orlando and Sears way out there. I mean, just fantastic coverage. They're not going to let anyone get behind them today.
Yeah, I think now, and we don't do, well, I hope we don't do prevent because I hate prevent defenses, but we do have a situation where Dan Sears is going to be a safety valve, and he's going to stay out there and keep from them long passes from happening.
3rd and 10, 47 seconds left in the third period. Riots leading 21-0. Here's Grondin back to pass. He's going to air it out. That's almost intercepted by Sears as he overthrows number 25.
Yeah, and he had Rue and 25, which is Ryan Brown, both right there. But again, he is not throwing, and he's not that accurate pass. He's not a Quentin Porter.
No, he's not a Quentin Porter. He's not an Edward Little quarterback.
Lambert.
Or even a Jackson Brown, who was a good quarterback last
Right.
week. And Grondin is not, of the caliber of
They
those
rely on their
quarterbacks.
running game, and quite frankly, I think Fallon's making a mistake by going to the air 3 straight plays in a row when he should try to establish his running game.
This looks like a punt, but we'll see, okay?
Yeah, we could be in desperation mode here now.
And it is a fake to Bougie, and he's not going to get the first down.
No, sir.
Woo!
Nobody was really faked out that time. Mike LeConte.
Mike LeConte having the game that we needed to have him have, and he's fired up and leading the charge defensively.
Yeah, he just bunged everything up right there, and Bougie got 5 yards, but that's only because we were kind of playing back about 5 yards, expecting something.
Riot's not being faked by any means, Mike, and I tell you what, look for Coach Wolfgram to go to the well here with 37 seconds.
Well, again, ball control has been the name of the game for us today, but the pass has played its part, and the pass has been just enough to make Sanford respect that, and the offensive line is just doing the
Greg,
job.
how do you sit so calm, man? What's up with it? He has to. DeBias got some running room. Makes a hit, still on his feet. Matt DeBias is running with vengeance, folks.
That is not the best running back in the league.
That is the best running back in the league. Excuse me.
Talk about running with some passion. I mean, running some real passion.
Oh, my goodness. Clock is running. This is going to be the last play. We won't even get this one underway as the third quarter time's going to run out here.
Well, maybe I take that back. I don't think they want a penalty, Mooch, that's all. So they probably won't with the playoff as long as they won't incur a penalty.
We are 12 minutes away from Orono, guys.
Well, I'll tell you, for South Portland fans, this is everything you wanted to see. We had a 7-0 game. I really didn't think it would get this far out of hand. I thought we'd see it go almost 7-0 to the end of the game. But South Portland has just turned it on. Offensively, have done a great job. And defensively, they are dominant.
Wow. This has been
hey, we've actually shut Mooch up here, folks. He don't know what to say.
Outstanding performance by South Portland on both sides of the football. Just done a great job. And after 3 quarters, are just tattooing Sanford. Those guys are going to go home and say, what are those SPs all over me?
This is a team on a mission, Coach. South Portland wanted to get back into that state championship after being beaten by the one-year wonders the year before last, Noble, and this year last year Sanford. And you're right. Their programs will have those ups and downs where South Portland just kind of runs along steady. They're always in the hunt.
Oh, Mike, do you believe how well we're playing? I mean, I knew we were going to play well, and I knew that Coach Wolfgram was going to have them prepared, but I had no idea that we would shut them down completely. And we said, though, all week and in pregame, if we make penetration and shut down Bougie, you stop the Sanford Redskins, because their passing game is not there. Right. It's not, we've seen some better passing quarterbacks and passing games.
We have effectively shut the run down.
But we shut their running game down,
I'll tell you one of the things that we're seeing here, I think I touched on it last week, Mooch. I do not think that South Portland has peaked yet. And I mean that
They're
fully
peaking.
offensively and defensively. Today is close
Today
to
you're
it.
seeing it. Oh,
Today it is, they're about as good as they can get.
They're a buzzsaw today.
Yeah.
Okay, they just are.
Yeah, and Matt Orlando hasn't fully peaked yet, so I mean he's still got room to go himself.
Second and 5, Riots, fourth quarter just underway. Matt Tobias off the left side.
Yeah, he was tripped up
He was
there by
tripped
number
up.
87.
He picked up a yard, though.
Yeah, still picked up a yard. Positive yardage. And that's because the offensive line had their defensive line pushed back a yard and a half before he got there.
I don't know if Bill Yanayan can hear me or not, but, you know, he told me before the game, he said, you know what, Mooch, I think this is going to be the same thing that we did to Noble in the playoffs.
A couple
two
years
years ago. Was it? Yeah, it was
last
no,
year.
It was
last year when we shut them, we just
shut them down and, you know, beat them like 38-0 or something like that. And I'm thinking, nah, it's not going to be that close. But I tell you what, he's pretty accurate to this point. 21-0. Who'd have thunk it?
And again, let's do quickly, too. We got Donnie Edwards as our field cameraman down there. He's been working with us almost all year long as he can make the game. Bill Yanayan is on our main camera upstairs and back to play.
3rd and 3. 3rd and 4, Riots. Tobias, pitch to the left. Great block by Rutherford. Matt stops.
Yeah, nothing really developed on that. The Sanford defense covered it very well.
The good news is we kicked the ball deep, Mike, and put him in deep, deep territory.
Yeah, we've got an injured player down there, and I think it's Matty Jones. Yes, it is. Matt Jones is on the ground down there and in a little bit of a pain.
Yep.
He's been fighting off an injury, I think, quite a bit this year. This ground has been a little bit mealy out there. Not bad. I've been surprised, but I've seen some slipping and stuff. And I'm not so sure Matt got hit as hard as maybe he might have slipped and twisted something. But we'll wait and see.
Matt is down.
Well, the good news on injuries this year is that Frank Vickerson came out of the game for a while there, and Matt was centering the ball. I didn't know if he had re-injured his shoulder or was having problems with it, but he's back in now. But we need Matt. He has played inspired ball today.
He has. He's played very, very tough. Great piece in the paper today.
Loves playing at night.
Loves playing at night. loves playing in November. You know, that kind of thing. So Matty down. Matt, get up quickly. Looks like they're grabbing his right knee there.
Yeah, and they are. They're feeling around the knee area, which is where you would get something if you got twisted around or something.
Right.
And that seems to be where we're at here now. We're just going to wait and see what happens, see if he can get up and walk off the field. We've had some hitting here today. I mean, this is not surprising.
There's some huge hitting going on out there, and we can't hear it as well as you can down on the field, obviously, but there's a ton of...
Again, I think I mentioned the cameraman, Al McLean, of course. He's our big technical guy. He runs the whole show here and gets us rocking and rolling. Bev McLean, who does the filming upstairs for the coaches' film that they use to help evaluate what teams are doing and what we're doing.
Ooh, Matt's up, and he's being helped off the field.
Yeah,
and,
he looks like he's hurt.
Yeah,
he can't put any weight on his leg.
That's tough when you see someone coming off like that.
Again, we've seen a lot of our Warriors falling this year, and a lot of our top players, and let's just hope this is something Matt can shake off, because we got, looks like, another game next week to play.
We got one more game to go.
Today's game, I think, is decided, at least in my mind, although certainly Sanford could make a comeback here, but I would doubt it. But Southpaw's going to need the likes of Matty Jones come in next week.
Absolutely. Doesn't look good as he's being carried off.
Yeah,
but,
I don't like the looks of this at all.
A lot of it could be very precautionary as well. But tough loss by losing a caliber player.
Well, we've got an injured Frank Vickerson and now an injured Matt Jones. Those are our two centers.
Dan Sears is back to punt at his 43-yard line. Here's the kick, and it's a great kick.
Boy, he kicks well, don't he?
And Bougie's going to take it, or try to run,
but nothing.
Well, you know, he fair catches when no one's on him, and doesn't fair catch when about 8 guys on him, and they're deep in their own territory at the 12-yard line.
That was Ryan Maine that was right down there and immediately wraps him up.
Great tackle by Ryan Maine.
Wow.
Great tackle by Ryan Maine as Red Riot's defense pinning Sanford back deep again. I'll tell you what, Mike, Sanford doesn't get anything going here on this drive deep. They're in deep trouble.
Well, we've got, 11 minutes to go.
I think they're in deep trouble anyway.
They're in deep trouble right now. This game is decided unless Southport has a
they got Brandon McCrossan out there with on Rue, man-to-man, because he's got some wheels. And here's the handoff to Bougie, and he's going nowhere. He's tackled by...
Pat Lyons is the first one.
Pat Lyons along with Bo Vozine.
Pat Lyons, Ryan McLeod also steps in, but Pat Lyons is the one that just broke through and tackled him in the backfield.
Second and 10. Again, just great defense up front, great penetration there. If Bougie can't get on track, he can go nowhere. Riots just manhandling the bigger Sanford offensive line. They are just having their way. Fourth quarter just underway, 10:32 remaining. Back to pass. It's picked off and intercepted. Mike LeConte. Pass is tipped by Ryan Maine, and Mike LeConte comes up with the interception. First down, Red Riots.
When it's going your way, it's going your way. I'm telling you. That ball was tipped by Ryan Maine, and Mike LeConte makes a diving grab.
We are just handing Sanford their heads here, guys. You got to kind of love it. Woo!
Well, we're loving it for sure because this is the best we've seen the Riots play.
Judy Spencer out there is cheering a little bit with me.
Not having as much trouble with the fans today as she did. Biddeford fans were sitting right behind Judy last week, and as she got excited and stood up, they kept telling her to get down in front.
Red Riots with the ball at just inside the 20-yard line. Handoff to Tobias off the left side. He breaks to the right side, spins around, picks up 3 yards.
Yeah, he's going to get a nice net gain of about 3 yards, but South Poland knocking on the door again. I mean, this is the nail in the coffin, Mooch. There's no way they're going to score 4 touchdowns, let alone probably 3. And if South Poland can score here, this game is, in effect, over.
Red Riots on the move here, Mike. We punched this one in, and I'll tell you what, it's all done but the crying, as they say.
That's right. The Skins have really got it. I mean, 3 touchdowns is a stretch for them to score, but we go up ahead by 4. They're going to really be in deep crap.
T formation, 2nd and 8. Tobias off the left side.
The workhorse.
Stops, evades a tackler, hits 2, spins off. I don't even say who makes a tackle for Sanford. It's not important to me.
Well, it was Gagne, who I talked about earlier. He was featured in the article today. He's a linebacker, and number 87 for Sanford, Tim Norman.
Clock is running, which is good. Matty Jones got a hurt knee there. His knee popped out. I think it's went back in there as he's lying on the table. Matty recover quickly, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's just hope nothing but the best from Matt.
Put an ice on it.
Yeah.
Here it is, third and 7, Riots inside the 15-yard line. Orlando, the counter is McCrossan. He leaps over.
Is he going to pick up the
first down?
He got the first down, though. I thought he was going to score.
Well, close to the first down. He does get the first down.
Yes, he's over the 5-yard line, inside the 5. That's a first down.
A little bit of enthusiasm going on here in the booth, Al. Get kind of excited.
Well, we like the counter. We're waiting for it to work, and this time it works positively. And the South Poland fans are going nuts. They are just so tickled. And the Redskins fans that took that little space there in our stands are all sitting down very
They're all
quiet.
kind of sitting, kind of wondering what hit them today as the Riots just absolutely dominating the defending state champ. Here it is, power, left eye formation, Riots.
At Tobias?
At Tobias.
Oh, he stopped
at the
right
line,
dead
but
at the
he's
line
still
of
on his feet.
Boy, that is a big boy that just grabbed him. Number 76, Sean Gagnon. He's a big kid.
Mike, we talked about the counter crisscross, going on the outside. That one was just a straight counter to the inside this time, and it was there for us.
Hey, how about you drag opposite? You think that'll happen?
Nah, it ain't happening. We're running the football. They can't stop us running the football. We're going in for 6 more here, guys.
I mean, even if you don't get a touchdown here, they're going to be inside the 5 with the ball.
We're going in for 3.
Yes.
I mean,
3?
We're going in for... We got 3 plays is what I was thinking. We got 3 plays to go in. Orlando's going to keep it. He's got some running room. Plus Mike LeConte. He's going in.
Touchdown.
Orlando. D.
Woo! LeConte fights off the last guy that had a chance at Matt Orlando, and he scoots in the end zone.
We're going to bowl.
Yeah, you can make that reservations now.
We're going to bowl, baby.
This game is over.
We're going to Super Bowl.
This game is over because I don't think anybody's going to score 4 touchdowns.
Tattooing them. This is no contest, folks.
Well, Matt Jones down there he is still hurting. And I think more upset maybe, too, that he is out of the game. He's got some ice on his knee. They don't seem to be attending him quite much. I see his dad down there. Come on, shake it off, guy. We'll see if we can fix you up. Let's hope this is not
what do we got here? Time. We got time out here.
Yeah, Joey Heslop, something's not quite right. So Joey Heslop just signals for a timeout for South Poland, and we'll talk about this.
I know Matt, he's just a great young man, great family, and much of the pain he's experiencing right now is just the fact that he can't be out there. You know what I'm saying? And
we want to hope this is not a serious injury.
Matt Tobias over to say hi. Frankie V. Matt Orlando, who just scored the touchdown, rallying around the guy that he's been a core of this South Portland football team this year, actually for the past couple years.
Matt's down there helping him take off his shoulder pads, see if he can make him more comfortable. Either that or he's going to try to steal his yellow shirt and wear it for the rest of the game. I don't know.
Much of the Sanford crowd, Mike, is leaving, and it's interesting. There, you can see him leaving now as the Red Riot go down. You okay? Hey, Taurus can be okay. All right, we're going to bowl. Athletic Director Troy Nielsen saying that, there's some smiles, and man, that guy was one uptight dude.
I'll tell you, he's been all over the field.
Now he's going down on the field.
He was down on the field helping to carry Matty off the field. Then he's back up here again.
$2 grand. Here's the kick. It's up and it's good. And the Red Riots 28, shutting out the Sanford high-powered offense.
I would not have believed this. I think it was possible, but I didn't think the South Portland had shown me yet that they can play this kind of ball, and they can play this kind of ball.
It's a beautiful display, guys.
Yes.
I can't even contain myself. And I know Greg here off to the right running the clock is like, will this guy chill out? He said, lighten up.
Well, I'll tell you, South Portland, they're peaking right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Going into the state game, this is where they want to be because they have really struggled to put it all together, and today they have really done that. And I think you give a lot of credit to the coach as they prepared these teams.
Hey, what do I tell you? What do we talk about? You give John Wolfgram an opportunity to break down a team again. Right. Okay, and, I mean, he can shut it down. He just knows how to shut this thing down, and he absolutely did that today.
Oh, I think he and his coaching staff have done a great job. These kids have been so prepared. Nothing's fooled them. They've given up 2 big plays all day, and even then they didn't give up any scores so far. So.
Sanford's much bigger. They have the best back in the state, so the paper says, or whatever.
Well, certainly one of them, though. Certainly one of them.
But we just absolutely shut it down. It's a fantastic team effort. Here's the kick by Davini. Another great kick. It's going to be taken by Bougie. He's got some running room there.
There it is.
But he's going nowhere.
And DJ first one in there. Well, DJ Tangway second, but the first one in there was Robert D.
Robbie D. There was some hitting going on down there.
The Suicide Gang is really, they've really nailed it today, haven't they? They have been all over it.
They have just sacrificially thrown their bodies into the wedges and all of that, Yeah.
No regard to their physical selves at all.
South Portland Red Riots 28-0, just spanking the defending state champ right now. Quarterback back to pass. He's going to throw it out there. This one's going to be picked off. Picked off by Danny Sears.
And that's Brian McCrossin is injured back there. I don't know
Brandon
what's happening to him.
McCrossin is injured.
He's rolling on the ground, holding his hand, it looks like. I think he got jammed there when he was reaching in for the ball.
Brandon McCrossin, the Cowboy, down, holding his hand.
We certainly don't need any more injuries, Mooch. I'm telling you, this is devastating. Matt Jones going down is really could be a devastating loss.
And Brandon McCrossin's been a big part of that offense and defense.
Yes,
He's had a tremendous second half of the year.
He is a player.
We're going to take a look. We got another look at this thing, Al. Okay. Brandon's down.
And South Portland, I'll tell you, they're not down at all. They are really up, except
goodness.
Their guys are getting hurt. They're upset about that. Their heads are hanging a little bit. We're tired of getting our people banged up is what the problem is.
Brandon's holding it looked like his wrist there, and he's okay. He's just...
I think so. Maybe the wind knocked out him more than holding his wrist. They got him bringing his knees in. I think he had the wind knocked out of him.
I think he's okay. Get up there, Cowboy.
Let's hope that's all.
Ride him tough.
Yeah.
He's up on his feet.
He's going to be okay. Yeah, he's going to be okay.
All right.
He just got a good one, that's all, and everybody's been hitting everybody hard here.
Hey,
he's a little wobbly, though. Look at that.
Oh,
it's a
football game. I tell you what, the Red Riots are doing everything right. We said we weren't going to get beat today, and that's the third? Is that the second or third interception?
That was the third.
Third interception. Red Riots coming up with 3 interceptions today.
Well, I felt really confident today that South Portland was going to win this game, and I don't want to take anything for granted, obviously, but I just felt confident that they were going to come in here. I did not expect to see a total domination like we've seen today.
This has just been
it is a pleasure. Thank you.
Absolutely, guys. You've had a fantastic year.
Yeah.
And we're going a big one.
Well, this is all the hard work coming to fruition for this team as they have just stepped up now and are just the best team in the Western Maine right now, period, and without even a doubt.
We need a referee. You can't You can't have a play without a referee.
I was going to say the officials, they've left early too, or what here?
Plus,
the game's not over yet.
They got someone down. We get another.
Oh,
player.
It looks like it. Yes. Yeah, they do. They've got somebody down over there.
Down on the Sanford side.
Boy, this is bad. I'm telling you.
There's some hitting going on, folks.
That looks like number 11 for them, who's been a big. That's their Pat Shares, their fullback.
I tell you what, Mike LeConte and Rusty Rutherford had just been playing with such tenacity on defensively.
Yeah.
If ever there was a time for those guys to step up and lead, and they've been doing it all year, but we needed that big game tonight, this afternoon, and we certainly got it.
Yeah, we've had some huge plays by some individuals, but those two guys there have played so solidly at the linebacker position. They have just supported that defensive front line like you would believe. You're right.
Absolutely. Dominating performance. I'm so proud of you guys for what you've done. I mean, you've prepared so well, and you've taken this football team to a new height, every single one of you, and you've put your every efforts into it. You're to be complimented in a big way.
Well, they certainly have made our job a pleasure this year. I mean, we lost Massabesic early on in the season, and since then it's just been one unbelievable performance after another. Some tight games. There's a lot of parity in the league. We had a lot of tough games this year, and those tough games, I believe, seasoned us. And they prevented us also probably from actually peaking too early.
Yeah.
We didn't peak early because we didn't run away from a lot of people this year. We had to fight hard to get where we were.
Yeah.
And today, all of that has come together into
Absolutely.
probably one of the best games they've ever played.
This is one of the best games. You know, I probably say that every year and probably say that after every big win. But I got to tell you, as I look back and I think about last year's wins, last year's loss, you know, to this Sanford football team here, I don't think I've seen a more complete football team than what we've seen executed today, Mike, in front of us. And we got something serious going on over there, folks.
Yeah, I don't. Whoever's hurt over there, he looks like he's actually passed right out. He's face down on the field. It looks like Pat Shares, their linebacker. Their fullback. And you're right. I mean, he seems to be, serious. Something serious.
Did not.
And in respect for him,
what
they
anything
stopped
happened.
He's actually off the field, Mooch. But in respect for possibly the seriousness of what's going on, they've actually stopped the game. I don't see anybody from South Poland really complaining as everything is with them right now. And certainly Sanford, a dejected group over there, as they're just standing there wondering what has happened to them today, as South Poland has dominated all the way around. South Poland with a very key injury here to Matt Jones today, as he is injured down there in the field.
Yeah, he's sitting up. Matt, he's sitting up.
He seems to be getting over it a little bit, but I'm not sure of the extent of this injury. And, of course, we'll all be watching that as the week passes on. But we're definitely going to Orono next week. There's no doubt about that. And South Poland will win this game.
Oh, and easily. It's a fun thing to be able to say, and easily.
Yeah, they did. They dominated the whole game. They didn't score a lot of points the first half. It was 7-0 at the end of the half. But they come in the second half with the exact same intensity, and Sanford just crumbled under their will.
They did. They just, they did crumble because we dominated so much.
Yes.
I think they expected to come in here and just kind of have their way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I honestly think they did.
And because, hey, we're Sanford, we're the defending champ, and we're favored, and we beat Massabesic, who beat you, and all that kind of stuff. But we just clearly, absolutely
28-22 was the prediction that they were going to beat us by 6 points, 8 points, whatever. I mean, unbelievable. And we're down there, and we've just run all over the place, doing everything we needed to do.
Again,
they still have not gotten this kid off the ground.
Series of
matter of fact, they haven't even got him rolled over yet. He's still laying on the stomach.
Get some very frustrated Sanford football players over there, especially Brian Grondin, the quarterback.
Well, South Poland players now, look, they're going to run and stretch, try to keep themselves warmed up and loose. And
Bo Vosian, I love it when he runs around without his hat on, and that kind of thing, and cheering, and as the Riot's offense, Big Mike LeConte. Come on, Mike. You can beat him, man. Who's number 26? That's
Waterhouse.
That's Waterhouse. Waterhouse beat you, man. Waterhouse had you by 3 steps. You weren't even trying.
Well, they need to stay loose here. So does Sanford, and I hate to see injuries. These high school kids, especially you get some seniors out there. They're looking forward maybe to playing in college or something like that. And you get injuries late in the season like this, and you kind of doubt yourself or your abilities. whole Sanford team is just milling around, waiting to find out what's going to happen. They've got one of their players down, as we've said. He's been laying face down over there on the sidelines since the end of the last play. And that's pretty serious. If you can't even get him rolled over so that you can talk to him a little bit, I don't know what's happened to him, but I would say it'd have to be pretty serious anyway.
I would think so.
Matt Jones, he's taking some hand slaps. Looks like he's feeling a little better. He was just kind of holding his head there for a while. Telling the guys, hey, you know, I'll be back next year. I don't care if it's broken. I'll just put a splint or something on it. I'll be back next week. And
Matt Tobias.
A lot of his teammates
out there stretching out a little bit. Man, he's had a phenomenal game. He's had an unbelievable postseason.
What a focus that kid is.
Oh my goodness, he is just.
And we talked about it. I mean, he has been able to just play one way this year, and he was injured early on in preseason, as you said, and I think that prevented them from using him probably as a starter on defense. But they focused on using him as their main back. He's been the workhorse. Rusty Rutherford has just done a nice job. He plays both ways, but Matt has been able to focus on his running, and it has really paid off. He is probably one of the best runners I've seen. And I mean, you're up there with the Burt Riches and the Timmy Lawsons.
Oh, yeah.
He's right up there with those guys.
His name goes down with the great ones here at South Portland High School. He's a phenomenal running back. As we watch one of the EMTs come with a stretcher now. Does anyone know who the player is? What number?
It looks like number 11, Pat Shears, but I can't tell for
sure. Number 11, Pat Shears.
Yeah, he's their fullback.
That's tough to see anyone be so seriously hurt.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like I said, up until a few minutes ago, I can't see now. The crowd has really circled around him, but he hadn't even gotten rolled over yet.
I don't even. Did anyone see what happened, or
no?
I don't know if it's.
I mean, that's away from the play mooch. We weren't even over on that end of the field. I think he was going out for a pass, so he may also be been out for a receiver. But
word we're getting here is that he got hit pretty hard on the kickoff, and then went off the field and just kind of collapsed.
Oh, really?
Just collapsed. Yeah. Just collapsed on the sideline. So our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to he and his family right now.
Well, certainly we don't want to see anybody injured terribly here. I mean, we've had our share this year with our players that have been actually knocked out for the season, and we certainly don't wish that on any of our opponents' players either, because it's just it's devastating to the team, the community. Talk about resiliency, though. South Portland really stepping up. With all the injuries we've had this year.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. You know, of course, losing Matt Ferrani this year was a big loss to us, our nose guard, and he did a great job. And then, Ryan Sprague, who wasn't able to even start the season, was hurt, and then finally got him back third or fourth game in the season, and then re-injured his leg against Portland.
Yep.
And then, of course, Matty going down now. We've been, apart from that, Mike, we've been pretty fortunately offensively and defensively this year, and not lost any the skilled people. When I say skilled people, not that someone is more unskilled. What I mean by that is those that handle the ball and do all the running, quarterback, etc.
Well, you take the impact of a Ferrani, though, is he's an impact player, and Coach calls him an impact player. And Pat Lyons is a sophomore. I mean, Ferrani's a senior. Pat's a sophomore. Pat Lyons having to step into that certainly gets pushed around a little bit at times, but he also makes some good plays. I mean, so as a sophomore, he's probably got a real good future in front of him as a nose guard.
Absolutely. Coach Wolfgram went over and said hi to Matt Jones, and a little bit of laughter, and Coach is smiling. I think there's a little bit of pressure there. Released, I should say, from Coach Wolfgram, knowing that his team is up 28-0 with 7 minutes left. I like our chances to go to Orono. I don't think Sanford has a 29-point play in their pocket in the fourth quarter. Not the way this defense has been playing, Mike.
This game is decided. This game is decided right now, Mooch. I mean, we know that. The outcome of the game is decided. I think the drama being played out over there on the other side of the field on a player that's fallen and is injured to the extent that he can't even get up off the ground, probably kind of darkens us at all. It certainly won't the celebration for the Riots. When the game's over and Sanford's are going on, the Riots are going to be celebrating big time. But this is only just the next step in their ultimate goal, which is to win the state championship.
I agree. You know, we've had some great, we've had a couple heartbreaking losses, in the Western Maine finals over the past couple of years. And you mentioned it earlier how much you hate overtime, and losing to Noble, and then going back with a vengeance and beating Noble twice down there. And then, of course, losing last year here in an unbelievable game in overtime, which we almost wanted in regulation. And then to come back today with such a display as this, I mean, it's just such a credit to everyone on the South Portland football team, coaching staff, everyone. And Mike, we're going to the big dance, as they would say, at Orono, going on the road to play the state championship. Something different that's been different for the past ever since Eastern Maine has joined us in playing for the state championship. It's either been at Bowdoin. I think we played once at Colby, then mostly at Fitzpatrick, and now we're going on the road to play the winner of Waterville and Oxford Hills.
Yeah, we played that year at Bowdoin. I mean, you want to talk about a game in the mud.
Oh, Burt Rich.
It was a great game. Great game, and I'll tell you, the play that stands out is, number one, we run, and Burt Rich really still had a good running game.
Defensive play, right, in the end zone?
Mike Rich, when he dives and tips the ball away from the receiver, Lawrence, that would have actually been the touchdown to tie the game up. And just absolutely astounding game. It was great. I was running the camera for Al then, down on the field, and it was just, you want to talk about a rush. Get down on the field and watch this game from down there. It's great.
Trying to get a thumbs up here from Coach Spencer from the booth as he's looking up.
Well, now, he's probably more concerned whether his wife's going to get into a fight with some disgruntled Sanford fan.
Judy, why don't I tell you how I really feel, Spencer? Okay. She's a character, that gal. She could be a nose guard.
Well, I'll tell you, Frank doing a nice job down there, but you ain't kidding. She seems to get into it. She is a big fan of the game, and she comes to all the games. Of course, obviously her husband down there. I think even her son played for a few years and stuff like that on the team. But yeah, it is fun, and there's a lot of dedicated fans that come every week.
Tell you what, the Riots going 9-1 and look like they're going to go to 10-1. Their only loss coming on to Massabesic, Mike, and what was a great ball game back in September, losing by 3 points. And we really were in position to win that one as well. We're behind 17-14, and we've got the ball inside the 15-yard line, a fumble on account of crisscross. What would have been a could be.
I think they got Pat Shires up on his feet. The Riot fans and the players are kind of clapping for him.
Is he on his feet or on the?
I don't know.
Can't see if he's on the.
I don't see him standing up, but maybe they've got him on the stretcher. But it looks like they're going to transport him.
Then we went on
they've got him on the stretcher, Mooch.
Then we went on to play a tough ball game against Deering, and Deering, here, Deering played us very tough here.
Yeah.
And I was a little concerned about that football team because they were kind of dangerous-looking football team,
They are.
And then to see what Sanford did to them 2 weeks ago, scoring 41 points against them and shutting them down, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And of course, we went on to beat Thornton and then had a great football game against Edward Little, and then had our way against the Battle of the Bridge. It's the South Portland Bridge again. And then, Mike, coming back and winning 2 ball games that we did this year against Edward Little here in Biddeford, and then just have a display that we're seeing today against Sanford is just unbelievable. Do you have an eye on Shares yet? Do you see him anywhere? Is he up? Is he being carried?
Look, I thought they put him on the stretcher. Oh, the ambulance is out behind their stand. So, yeah, they've taken him out to put him in the ambulance out behind their stand.
Again, our best to Pat Shares. And
we certainly hope that everything works out all well.
His family. Now we got to get our clock guy back here because we need him to run this thing down for us.
There you go.
Red Riots here after about a 15-minute delay here. Have the ball after another third turnover. Everyone's stretched out here. 1st and 10, Red Riots at the Sanford 45-yard line. Here's a handoff to Rusty Rutherford off the right side. He's got a huge hole. He spins forward. He's got to pick up about 7 yards at the Sanford 40-yard line.
Yeah, of course, Rusty, they shut him down so hard there in the first half. And now all of a sudden he is just getting some room there as his offensive line is doing some nice blocking.
2nd and 5 at the 40.
2nd and 5, Riots on the move. Can you imagine this we go up 35 zip here, Mike, if we could, and people in the paper would
it's incredible.
Say, is that a typo or what? 7:05 left in the ball game. Guard trap to Rutherford. He breaks off the left side, still on his feet. He's going to go in the end zone.
35-0.
Boom!
Yeah.
The route is on, folks. The route is on as R-squared. Rusty Rutherford goes 45 yards to pay dirt to put the Riots up 34-0. 40 yards. I can't count.
I'll tell you, Coach Wolfram, nothing fancy. He's just saying we're going to come straight at you guys. You got a chance to stiffen up your defense, keep them from really running away from you, but it ain't happening now.
Unbelievable.
They're hitting on all cylinders, Mooch, and it's like they can't stop themselves.
The route is on, folks. 6:56 left in the ball game. Your Red Riots. You ready for this? For those of you listening at home, Red Riots 34, Sanford 0.
Who would have thunk it, Mooch? Who would have thunk it?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Here it is. He's throwing it. It's caught. Who's got it? We got it.
Somebody's
caught
got
by
it.
a lineman.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be illegal receiver or something.
Good catch, though. He was open.
It wasn't French, I think. I think it was French that caught it.
Oh, now what do they do here, Greg? Is it they got to make the just decline it? Okay.
Yeah, they'll decline it. It'll stay 34 to zip.
34-0. South Portland. Oh, I can't stop from saying it, but Mike, I'm just so.
Oh, Joey Heslop was a backup quarterback. He can throw the ball. Of course, he can't throw it to Eric French. That's all.
Well, I guess it's clear at this point when we do the geometry who the best team is from the top four, Mike.
Oh,
that went in at
that
entered the playoffs at 7-1.
As Mike LeConte even gets a chance now, he comes off the field. He gets to go over and talk to Matt Jones, who's sitting on the table. He's sitting up. Looks like he's a little more comfort now. I'm sure he's disappointed that he's injured, but again, we'll find out. Let's hope it's not serious, and that he can come back and play next week. I mean, you don't play your whole high school life and then not be able to play in the state game. You know what I mean?
It's true. Kind of like Rich Rio.
Oh,
Rich Rio back a couple years ago. As the Riots kamikaze unit get the kick again.
Oh, they're loving this.
They've done this a few times.
Yeah, they're loving it.
Here's the kick by DeVinny.
Yeah, this
line drive kick. Somebody's got to pick it up because you have to. Bougie's got it. He's going nowhere. There's a late hit there, but
Pat Lyons, Dan Sears, all on top of it. Pat Lyons with a pat on the top of the head. Bougie.
You know, that's the only thing Sanford can do right now is take the cheap shots. You know what I'm saying? A 77 hit McCrossin after the whistle. But that's all they can do because they can't beat them fairly.
Well, they've taken some earlier on. One of their penalties was one of their defensive players hitting Matt.
Hey, Greg, you can't call that, huh? You couldn't call that from up here, could you? Can't help me out. 6:48 left in the ball game. Riots winning big. Grondin back to pass again. Maine is on him. He's going to try to throw it. Caught by Bougie. Bougie's on his feet. Brandon McCrossin has got just as many wheels as he does. Going to knock him out of bounds at the 40. And again, guys, we want the donuts. That was a great catch by Bougie. He's a good athlete, no doubt.
And then all that yardage afterwards was on him.
Yeah, it was.
He just outran our defense and fought off tacklers.
It's just unfortunate that he's playing for the second best team in the league today.
Well, I'll tell you, I was impressed with Sanford early on. I thought their defense looked like they were up to the task. But South Portland nobody was going to stop them today.
South Portland just destroyed them today.
Nobody was going to stop South Portland today. Hey, that's a Biddeford lineup.
He's looking for number 25. It's thrown up there. This one's going to be almost picked off. That's just great coverage by Matt Orlando on Brian Rue. And Rue's been their go-to guy all year. But he's just really got no one to go to. I mean, that pass to Bougie was just out of desperation, you know.
Yeah. Sanford's not going to the state championship, but wouldn't it be nice, them saying to themselves, wouldn't it be nice if we could at least score?
Nah.
You know.
Not interested.
Not interested.
6:29 left, 1st and 10. Sanford at the Riots, 40-yard line. Art Dickey's coming off the field.
He's holding his arm.
He's holding his arm or something. Let's see there. He's okay. Put some ice on it there, buddy. Here's a pass. Going to be thrown to Rue. McLeod falls down. Oh! Mike LeConte.
Boy, did he level him or what?
Mike LeConte just drilled Rue, and he dropped the ball.
I mean, Mike LeConte, you don't think of Mike as fast, and he's not really fast.
Goodness.
But boy, did he cover some territory
Rue.
And drilled Rue.
He is coming up. Mike, you are having the game, man, that we wanted you to have.
Yeah.
And if some of us harassed you, it was all in fun because we wanted you to step up. We knew you would, but, man, you played great all year. Great hit. Here's the pass. Rue's looking that time. He's like, I don't know if I want to catch this
Where's
thing.
LeConte?
Where's LeConte? He was thinking footsteps, or hearing them, I should say.
Now, look at that. They brought a set of crutches in for Matt.
Yeah, they want him to be prepared to enjoy the...
Yeah, get up. Yeah, that's right. Get up.
Get up and get out here, man. 6:05 left. 2nd and 10, Sanford. I want donuts. Bougie comes in motion. Here comes Rutherford. He's going to throw it out there. No one's out there, and it's caught by...
Almost a nice catch by the reporter on the field.
He was open, too.
He wants to, wide open. One thing I like about Grondin, we haven't sacked him yet today, Mooch, and that's because he gets rid of the ball. If he can't find somebody open to throw at, he just gets rid of it so he doesn't get sacked.
Your attention, please. Would Allison Shares of Sanford please report to the main gate? Allison Shares of Sanford, please report.
3rd and 10, Sanford. How about a pickoff, Mike? What do you think? Yeah, blitz is on, and there's a screen out there to number 25.
Yeah, Ryan McLeod doing a nice job stepping out.
Yeah, he stayed at home.
Stayed at home. Come up, even though somebody was trying to block him off this guy, still managed to make the tackle.
Screen set up on the left side, but Ryan McLeod staying at home, doing a job as a great rover would.
Rusty Rutherford, like he does at the end of every game, has got a target on the quarterback.
Oh, yeah, Rusty's
and
like,
he is now zeroing in.
Rusty's like, hang on the ball. One more second. I can get there. One more second. Here it is. 4th down. Obviously, Sanford going for it. 4th and 8 at the Riots' 18-yard line. 5:22 remaining in the ball game. Grondin back to pass. He's looking for someone. That's way overthrown. Riots take over.
Well, he didn't have anybody because the coverage was excellent. And Orlando really sticking to his man today. And Rue, I don't think he's quite as fast as some of these other players. He's just big and strong. That's why he's done so well this year.
Red Riots all over the Redskins, Mike. I love it. I love seeing it. We beat Biddeford last week in a fantastic football game, and I love beating those guys. And now to come back.
Well, this is as sweet as last week. I like to beat Biddeford too, Moose,
and
but
tattoo
this is nice.
Sanford.
That's
huge.
Right.
It's huge.
This is really nice. South Poland, they've earned their way here, just like Sanford earned their way here. And now South Poland's going on to the state championship. Rusty Rutherford,
huge hole.
Poink.
R squared, picks up 9, 8 yards.
Tackled by Mr. Bougie.
Riots winning big. 5 minutes left in the ball game.
How tough is that on a Sanford team, though, to be out there knowing that one of their players is down with, we're not sure how serious an injury, but obviously pretty serious. They're down by 34 points and have been just absolutely dominating. They're saying, boy, I wish that clock would just run just a little faster and get us out of here.
I'll tell you what, after this play, for 2nd and 3, is the counter. No, Rutherford again.
Well, what great running by Rusty.
Picks up the first down. Picks up the first down.
Oh, yeah, he does.
That just eats up the clock. Mike, if anything, if there's an exclamation point to be added to today's win, it's, again, the top 14 is very close. Great parity in the league this year. Few upsets almost happened in the quarterfinals and semis. And but the Riots coming out and playing, what was the favored team to repeat. Not only beating them, but beating them handily.
Oh, yeah.
With an exclamation point at home again.
South Poland has reestablished himself as the #1 team around.
#1 team in the state. You got it. Hand off to Rutherford off the left side. Stops. Got some running room. Spins around. Picks up 8 yards. And he again eats the clock up.
We just soon do that now for the next 4 minutes. Just keep running, chewing up yardage. We don't even need to score a touchdown or anything. Just keep running, chewing up yardage.
I had an idea we'd win. I knew I was predicting we'd win by 8, but I had no idea we'd shut them out in a big way.
I said 2 touchdowns.
You said 2 touchdowns. That's right.
I was just a little closer than you. That's all.
You know what? I'm going to begin to wrap this thing up, believe it or not, because I'm getting on the field as soon as this one's over. Al, I promise to come back and help carry the equipment. But with 3 minutes left in the ball game, the Riots are going to go on to win the Western Maine final. Rusty Rutherford runs forward, picks up the first down. Sanford could do nothing here.
He's not even letting it up, Rusty. You see how hard he's running now? When he goes, I got the first down.
Here comes the second unit. This one's over, folks.
Absolutely, as the crowd stands up and says, thank you for the memories, guys.
Hey, Mike, you remember last year I said, Sanford came back to win, and I still didn't believe they had more points that day. I still didn't believe they were the best team. I said, we play them 10 times, we beat them. We beat them 8 times. I really believe that, and we certainly displayed that today as senior Joe Heslop is going to take the snap here. Here's a handoff to number 43, Robbie D.
Robbie D's going to
pick up some. He's going to pick up some yardage.
You got a fired up team out there. I mean, nothing's stopping the Riots today. I don't care if you put the third squad out there. I don't care if the cheerleaders go out there and play. It doesn't seem like anything's going to stop.
Yeah, but you know the
Riots
cheerleaders
today.
won't go out and play. I mean, they don't have any pads. I mean,
they're good athletes.
They're going to mess up their hair, mascara get in their eyes, and then all that kind of thing. The Red Riots repeat. I shouldn't say repeat.
Yeah, I'm looking for Matty Jones.
But
he's got his
regain
crutches
is
on.
what I mean. Regain the Western Maine crown in a big way. Hand off to Robbie D again off the left side, right side. Picks up the first down.
And South Poland just kind of showing off their future a little bit. Saying here's the kids that are going to be playing for us next year, and they're good too. And you're right, South Poland will have to rebuild to some extent because they do have a good core of seniors this year.
No, don't ever use that word. It's reload.
Actually, reload is right.
We're going to reload.
Right. We've been doing it now for 5, 6, 7 years, so.
2 minutes left in the ball game. South Portland got their ball, 3rd and inches. Mike, we only have to snap the ball a few more times here. Hand off of Robbie D again 3 times in a row. He's going to get the first down.
Well, the
still on his feet.
The blocking is excellent down there. They're just doing a great job blocking. Jared Eaton is in. He's doing some. He's blocking, playing on the offensive line.
I'll tell you what, the second offensive unit got some great ball players on it, Mike.
Yeah, they do.
Just moving the ball forward against this Sanford first unit out there, and Sanford doesn't know what hit them over there today, Mike.
Now, Sanford is. They've been beaten into submission by our first string players, but there's some talent out there in this second group, no doubt about it. And you can see that they're ready to step up next year when it's their turn.
Just over a minute left in the game. Heslip, the quarterback, senior quarterback at that, is in handoff to Pat Lyons off the left side. There's the nose guard running with the ball, running with some vengeance as he's still on his feet. That sophomore, I believe he's a sophomore, Pat Lyons.
Pat Lyons is a sophomore, and that's been his regular position. He is a running back.
You're looking at next year's tailbacks, folks, and he's a big one, and he's going to run over a few people. That's Robbie Kirsten, I should say, at tailback right there.
Robbie Kirsten's heir apparent. That's right.
Look, he's even putting his shoe on.
Ran right out of his shoe.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Look at him. Okay, I'm ready. Don't take me out. I'm ready.
His time is going to run out here in a few seconds. The Red Riots just steamrolling over the Sanford Redskins in a one-sided, lopsided affair. 34-0.
Last play of the game, Mooch, right here.
Hand off to Robbie D.
Robbie D on the line.
Your Red Riots are now the 1999, the team of the 90s. The 1999 Western Maine champions, shutting out the Sanford Redskins with a complete dominance, offensively and defensively, winning at home, 34-0.
Hey, by the way,
this thing up.
Let me just do a quick update here. Matt Jones threw the crutches away. He's walking on his own down there. Limping a little bit, but he's walking on his own. So let's hope that he comes back next week all right.
And that's a fantastic ball game as the Zoo crew runs out on the field.
There's some celebrating going to be done here tonight, but like I said, this is only just the next step in the ultimate goal. That's the state championship. And if they play like this next week, Mooch, we'll be back here with the trophy.
Hey, whoever wants to go out for a convoy or meet in Bangor next Friday, give me a call, 767-1058. We'll get a couple hotels up there and have a great time as we're going to bring you the state championship football game next week. And again, congratulations to a complete dominance by your 1999 Western Maine Class A champions, the South Portland Red Riots. This is Mooch Davis. Mike, you got
just we'll see you next week, folks, because that's going to be another good one.
Goodbye, everyone.